just trying to kill her.
And we're live.
Oh, hello.
I was watching all of the Halloween movies.
Oh,
yeah. I liked that you were DMing me your opinion as you were going.
I hate like all of them. Like,
oh,
really?
At all surprised to hear that. But for half a second, I thought, I wonder what he thinks of them, and then I remembered that he hates Indiana Jones, and so
what are you talking?
You're not gonna like Halloween.
I don't hate Indiana Jones.
I think he's gone.
Uh-oh.
Oh, did I lag out? Oh, I'm
You
back.
massively lagged out. It took you about
When did
30 seconds to say Jones.
Oh, I did. Okay, I don't not
Jones.
like Indiana Jones. I just don't like Temple of Doom.
That's fair. I can understand that
There's a
position.
difference. So yeah, but yeah, the Halloween movies are. Oh my god, I hate them all.
The
Except
first
for the
one
first
was
one.
good. Yeah,
First
the
one's
first
great. First one's
What did you think of
solid.
Halloween 2?
Halloween 2 was pretty dull. It was meh.
I was gonna say if I were to predict your
it's not
opinion,
bad.
it would be boring. Yeah.
Yeah. Halloween
like how
3
Just carries
was a
on
vibe.
from 1
Like,
to 2.
Halloween 3 was terrible, but I'm like, I vibe with this. It's like I'd
3
fall
is so
asleep to
weird,
this
though. It has
movie.
absolutely nothing to do with anything else.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Well, yeah, because Michael Myers died and they wanted to make it an anthology series from there on out. But because that movie failed, they're like, oh, we'll just bring Michael Myers back. So it ended up just being a one-off instead of like the start of something.
4 was horrendously funny.
That mask, dude.
Oh, it's so terrible.
It's so bad.
Like is it 4 where the just the rednecks go around the town and start killing random people
4,
because they think they're Michael Myers. Yeah, they're like, light them up, boys. And they're like, we just killed Tom Field or whatever his name is.
Oh,
darn
shit,
shame.
that's Tom Field.
Yeah, and then
Darn it.
5 was infuriating. I really hated that one.
That mask sucked too. I always critique the masks. Yeah.
Loomis was like completely character assassinated. Like he was just a terrible person. 6 was the return.
Did you appreciate
to
the retcon of the twist ending of part 4? Like the immediate retcon. Like, just kidding, she's not evil. Like,
oh yeah. Oh, and she was deaf for like half the movie because like
that's I kind of like that because it explained like why Michael doesn't speak, or like it's stupid, but
it's stupid. They tried.
They tried something. Yeah. They tried.
But one of my friends told me that they kept her deaf because the studio didn't want to pay her more money. So they were just like, take lines out, which is crazy. And then 6 was the one where it says in a throwaway line that Michael killed the economy. So that was very funny. And then was there 7? No, there was Reborn.
The movie that has that line. The guy goes, "Relax your crack, sweetheart," and I don't know why.
Yes.
I always found that hilarious.
Yeah, there was the one with Paul Rudd. Was that 7?
That's the one with Paul Rudd.
That was his first movie, right? Like his first feature.
Yeah, Paul Rudd's first film, and then he went on to have Ant-Man 3 bomb.
And now he's Ant-Man. What a turnaround!
Darn.
I do like Paul Rudd.
A Halloween bomb to Ant-Man bombing.
H2O was meh.
That's your response to the part 1, 2, and H2O. Like, those are the 3 movies that I really like.
H2O was like fine.
What about Busta Rhymes going trick or treat, motherfucker?
That was peak. I love that. What was that? Reborn? I don't remember the names of these movies anymore. But the Busta Rhymes one, that one. Apparently, there's another cut of the movie where it's just like the handheld POV found footage style shots that they used. I hated that. That made me nauseous the entire movie.
I tried watching.
And then
it's atrocious.
The Rob Zombie movies, I turned off 15 minutes in. I just could not handle it. Those were god awful for the first.
There's a clip from that first Rob Zombie movie that's in my next video that I'm worried is going to get me demonetized.
Oh, Is it the one where it cuts between Michael sitting alone and his mother being a stripper?
No, but I mean,
because that's when I turned it off. Yeah. And then we just skipped
skipped over part 2 of the Rob Zombie movie because that might be the worst movie of all time.
Yeah.
Worse than Halloween
and then
Ends.
I went to
it actually might
Halloween
be
3.
No, it's the second Rob Zombie Halloween movie.
I don't rate.
And then I skipped
right,
2018, and 2018 was frustrating because like for the first half, I'm watching this, and I'm like thinking this could be better than the original. I'm like, this is really good. And then the third act plot twist happens, and then it just nosedives.
I know. That was too bad.
But the first hour was quite good. I liked that.
Mm-hmm. Did you see Halloween Ends? Did you get to Halloween Ends?
Yeah. Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad. I think I started watching that by saying, like, because I was watching it with friends, and I'm like, man, I'm noticing a real lack of Michael Myers. And then he's like, yeah, get used to it.
Welcome to episode 23 of BSUP, everybody. Yeah, I always like to do the cold open, so welcome to the conversation about Halloween. But yeah, we are back, and it's, I don't know, so I have my mom has cancer, and so it's going to be sporadic appearances on BSUP, and I don't want to talk about things that I don't have any knowledge on or haven't watched, so I'd rather just not do it. So that's why it's sporadic, and it's probably going to continue to be sporadic. So that's why you're catching us on Tuesdays, or, you know, if I've been seen in a downward mood the past couple months. So I'm going to continue doing it. I'm continue to do videos. That's also why that is also why the videos have been very specific. But I'm like, my next video, I think, is probably the best video I've ever done. So I'm trying to hone all of my anger and energy into that, and kick some serious ass, at least narratively, the best I can. But I'm going to be helping her, so I can't like be present all the time. So, but yeah, I'm going to continue to try and be on here. But I figured I'd owe everyone an explanation because a lot of people have been trying to check in on me. So I just want to let everyone know. And it's really hard to tell everyone all this shit. So if I seem uncomfortable right now, I fucking am. So yeah, anyway, we'll move on from this though, and go through the introductions. Platoon, if you want to take over for a second.
I can indeed, yes. Yeah, hello everyone. BSUP, whichever number this is, I've completely lost track.
23.
23, that's the one. I think you actually did say that. I was yeah, paying attention. Yeah, well, yeah, we're back. We have some stuff to talk about. I've not been busy for the same reasons, but been manically busy for other reasons. So the news has been completely off the, like, over my head. So this is going to be the first time I'm talking about all of this stuff, and indeed the first time I learn about most of it. So this show could be really interesting. We have our usual assortment of very lovely guests with us today. We have the wonderful, actually, Andrew with his spectacular takes. We have the wonderful Vex with her frequent use of the demonetization button. And we have the wonderful Mega Geek with us as well. So thank you all three very much for joining us.
No worries.
And I think top of the list of things, there is the Marvels. There have been some predictions about the Marvels. The Marvels is coming. Yeah, it's as shorty as kidney stones. The Marvels is coming, and we're all looking forward to it with equivalent enjoyment. So now I haven't actually seen many of the predictions, so I don't know exactly to what degree it's supposed to bomb, but apparently it is. Anyone have the details on this one, or am I going to go rushing to Google?
I don't.
I do know this is stuff that I do keep up on because it's just, you know, this is why I started the channel in the first place, because of Marvel movies, and I love superheroes. They're like statues behind me. Yeah, so they are projecting like 75 to 80 million right now, which is honestly like, it's a disaster. It's an absolute disaster. And the fact that they didn't even shift it. No, I think that's domestic. I do think that's domestic. Because it had dropped at one point to like a $65 million prediction. But the last I saw, which is like yesterday, was like, like 75, 80.
I saw the latest trailer, and it is the latest trailer shows you clips from the TV shows. So they're trying to tell the story, because I think they realize a lot of people never watch the TV shows. So they basically put the clips of the TV show to explain who they are and stuff like that. I don't know if you've seen the latest trailer.
Especially Miss Marvel, because nobody watched that show.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad, because that one was better than WandaVision. It still wasn't great, but I was like, you're trying something here.
It still starts off with the other, I can't remember her name. Was it Monica Rambeau? That's saying you're brilliant, you're fantastic, you're amazing. You know,
they'll never know what you sacrifice.
Yeah, exactly, that kind of thing. And it starts off with that, so it looks like it's still floating the crap in it. So, but anyway, we'll see.
I'm really excited for the Marvels. Actually, I think it's going to be a phenomenal movie, and you're all a bunch of misogynists for not thinking so. All right.
True.
I think you're right.
I think it's going to be a movie that has the potential to start like 1,000 new YouTube careers.
Yeah, maybe. If it's that bad though, because like the clips I saw from the latest trailer, they do play all the action and stuff, so it looks really action packed. It probably isn't. But then again, I heard that they re-edited it. Is that true?
I think they cut it down, didn't they? Last was reported.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and normally like you can count on 8 or 9 minutes of credits, so it's like an hour and 36-minute movie, because it's like an hour and 45.
Right.
So yeah, like an hour and 36 minutes, and it's been in development for, oh Christ, I don't know how many times they went back for reshoots. This reminds me of like the Justice League situation, like in 2016. Like it's gonna be like that.
The thing is though,
like both box office and of quality.
None of the girls
we're gonna get a director's cut.
None of them are attractive, right? None of the girls are attractive. It's like, you know,
Brie Larson's.
Brie Larson's.
Yeah. So
keep
why
her in a tank top? She's good.
Well, why have they dressed her in a onesie then? Why haven't they given her a sexy costume? Do you know what I mean? It's just because
because you also can't sexualize females in superhero films anymore. Didn't you know that?
Well,
you can only sexualize the men.
So we're allowed to do it to the men. We're not allowed to do it to the women. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, women get breast implants and Botox, and then you're not allowed to look at them. Yeah. It's all designed to be kept underneath the clothes.
Stupid. I mean, they would
and
they
like
would
they
sell
even
loads of
made
seats if she was if they put her in a really, like the first costume that Miss Marvel wore. If they put her in that, loads of people come and see it. She's got a good body, Brie.
To be fair, I think the suit that they put her in this movie is actually more like flattering on her figure than she got in the first movie. Yeah. I think the darker works better for her, and it doesn't look like she has a pancake ass anymore. So
I think it's in the costume.
But did they CG enhance it like they did Natalie Portman's arms in Thor? They've actually got a team of people there designed to make Brie Larson's ass look like it exists.
They're just if the boys can dedicate a dude to CGIing a giant penis on screen, I'm sure there's someone dedicated to doing that with flat asses in the Marvel universe.
Didn't they CGI the penis out of the screen? I thought that was a thing with Namor, if that's the guy you're referencing. I'm pretty sure they flattened the bulge.
They took his junk. We'll never forget that. That's the biggest crime that movie committed.
As long as Brie doesn't show her feet, we're going to be okay, aren't we? All of us.
Yeah, ankles up is okay, I suppose. Then, how much are we even going to see of her in this film? Because given that they downgraded it from Captain Marvel 2 to The Marvels, I think largely in response to the fact that she's very unpopular. And from what I understand, it's been so long since I looked into this. Am I right in saying that the mechanics of this world is that when one of them uses a power, the rest of them disappear and then or go to a different universe, and then so that theoretically means that the other two can just carry on doing everything, and Brie's excuse for not being on the screen is, well, I was in a different universe doing stuff, but actually behind the scenes we know it's because everyone fucking hates her.
Well,
and in the newest trailers it looks like they're adding like a lot of jokes for her character, and it looks like they're trying to make her likable. Because Brie's acting a little different than she did in Captain Marvel and Endgame. Well, she's acting for one. She's not a plank of wood. And her character seems like more quirky, which is like what they're just trying to do to make characters likable without putting any effort into it. So it'll be interesting to see how she turns out. Monica seems the same. Miss Marvel seems the same too. I think that actress has a lot of charisma. I think she's fine. It's just the character's poorly written. So
I'm not going to see it anyway. I'll probably catch it on TV or something.
Well, if it performs badly, it'll be up on Disney Plus within a month, so you can just wait.
Amen.
How much are we relying on Secret Invasion for this? So is Nick, because Nick Fury's in it, isn't he? So is this post Secret Invasion Nick Fury that I have to read about? Because there's no way I'm fucking watching that show.
Well, he's like clean shaven in this one. He's not like all raggedy and stuff. He's not.
Is it pre Secret Invasion then?
Maybe
it follows after it, doesn't it not?
Is there like a post credit scene in Secret Invasion? I don't know. I watched 2 episodes.
I didn't watch it at all.
I tried it several times and got through about half of episode 2, and that's as far as I got. So I couldn't.
Yeah, it was really boring. Like I had it on the second monitor while I was doing something completely different, and I still got bored.
So it takes place after the events of Secret Invasion.
After?
Yeah, I think so, because it's in the trailer, right? Clips from it is in the trailer. It's like they're saying you have to watch these shows to understand this movie. That's how the trailer came across to me. Like I haven't watched any of them, so
I am going to bet all of you 100 pesos that there won't be a single Secret Invasion reference in that movie.
Oh,
I don't. Pesos in real money.
I think the only reference, the only reference is going to be like, "Hey Fury, what were you doing?" Nothing. That's it.
Yeah, where were you these last few years? And then that'll be it.
I don't know.
I think it looks just based on the trailers, because I agree they're phasing out Brie Larson because nobody wants her, but it looks like they're pushing Miss Marvel, the brown chick. They're trying to push her front and center to have a bigger role, I think, once they start redoing everything.
Yeah.
And
honestly, she's just a better character by default, because I think the actress is better. So
thing is, though, they should just scrap it all, because everybody knows it's going to flop. Everybody knows that hardly anybody cares about these characters. Yeah, a few people will go and see it and it will make X amount of money, but it's all a big waste of time, because it's hiding to nowhere. That's basically what it is. Everybody's dropping out of Marvel because it's so bad. You heard about the Daredevil thing where they killed 4 episodes and they're redoing it again for some reason. I don't know why. But it's just, as I said, nobody cares about Marvel anymore. I don't care about Marvel. Definitely not. I think it died at Endgame, in my opinion. But that's just, and nobody's watching Loki. I don't know anyone anyone watching Loki.
I'm watching it.
Are you? I can't be asked. I really can't.
I didn't bother with the first season. So
are they half-hour episodes?
Yeah, 20.
Yes.
Yeah, it's. Yeah. I've never been more frustrated with a show, because it's like, ooh, look at these cool ideas. Now we're just not going to do anything with them, or just mess them up.
But as soon as they realize that Marvel, and superheroes, and it's all a boys thing, the sooner they'll drag some money in, the sooner hopefully the shows will get better.
Maybe, but then I kind of wonder if it's maybe even too late for that. My problem with Loki, because I sat down to watch Loki season 2 and I'd never seen Loki season 1, and because I even back then I couldn't really give a shit. So I started watching Loki season 2, and then predictably enough, you don't really have a clue what's going on, where, when, who, I don't know what it was. So I went back to try and watch Loki season 1, tried probably 4 or 5 times across the space of a week, and just never finished it. Because I don't give a shit. Not only is it not very good, but also there's nothing in it. There's nothing about it which makes me want to invest time and effort to try and understand what it's doing with multiverses and timelines and all the rest of that, which are all inconsequential. But the more shows like that come out, and there are a number of them now, and the more multiversal connotations they add, the more stuff you have to go back and research or look up when you go to the next feature film. And for the majority of people who don't have Disney Plus, they'll be completely non-plussed. That's a pun. And they won't really give a shit. So I think I'm in the position of just being overloaded at this point. The universe is too big. The multiverse is too big. There's too much stuff to carry into the next thing. they need a big reset, I think. But
they do.
they've got the option to do that. So
it's probably what Secret Wars is going to do.
And that's what Secret Wars has done in the comics. That's the point of Secret Wars. So they do have the opportunity. Like that is exactly
the Secret Wars is a again, I'd say this, it's a boys' own thing. Comics are a boys' own thing, and if they do Secret Wars and they stick all this feminist rubbish in it, they're just going to be going down the same road. There's no point in doing it if you're not going to treat the material with respect. Do you know what I mean? So
it is genuinely intriguing, wondering if they follow the Secret Wars 2015 arc, the lead character in it is going to be a white person. It's a white guy.
Exactly.
And it's like, it honestly is hilarious to ask, like, well, will they allow such a thing? Because it's Reed Richards, and it should be like, he's one of the marquee fucking Marvel characters. Like, don't replace him with something else. Like, that's who it is, and that's who it should be too.
What is the general plot of Secret Wars for those of us that have not?
It really is just a big, like,
it's a secret.
Oh my god!
It's just a big. It's a reason to have a giant reset and like to smash toys together. No, the plot's really like. Doesn't matter what the plot is.
It's like Flashpoint.
Smash toys together or smash toys together?
Smash.
Smash.
Smash. Yeah, smash. Scissoring. No, but I mean, Sony is clever, aren't they? They've literally pulled Spider-Man from Marvel, haven't they? Marvel's still linked with him, but the next movie they're going to make, they're trying to persuade Tobey Maguire to be in the next one. So it's going to be interesting because Sony's like, no, we don't want any woke stuff in our, in our Spider-Man, and they just literally ripped it from Marvel. Marvel's got a little stake in it, as far as I understand, but that's going to be the next one, right? The next one to watch, anyway. Next one to get excited about. So we'll see.
How about Mega Geek? You want to read the super chat? Because I can't.
You just don't want to try and pronounce this.
I just admitted it before you could call me out.
Jan, what? I don't even know.
I think it's Grab a Chick, and I apologize terribly if I've got that wrong.
Yeah. Will Emily Clark be in the Marvels since she has Captain Marvel's power? She also should be connected to the trio. Don't know.
It's a fantastic point. It crossed my mind too, actually.
By the Marvel's rules, yeah, she probably should be connected, but
no Secret Wars things will be connected to this movie. So
for what is that? 25 what? PLN. What's PLN?
Foolish Zloty.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, 25. It's not bad, I guess.
Thank you very much for it, as always. Because I never finished Secret Wars, but I did see a couple of those clips from the end. So she, the powers that she gets, which look really, really dumb, they are the Captain Marvel powers, then, are they, or are they just sort of very similar to that?
Captain Marvel, like Drax. She's got a couple other ones. I don't know how they have. I don't know what Drax's powers are other than being like really durable, but I think it's really OP if you have a race that can copy other races' powers, because why wouldn't you just do that? But whatever,
right?
Don't think about it.
Doesn't she go Hulk in the final episode as well? Doesn't she get Hulk powers?
Yeah, and there are some other really goofy ones too. Like,
there's Thanos too, even though that they need a blood sample for that, and they don't have one.
Yes, and doesn't she have turn into an Iron Man arm, which would make no sense because it's not like in his DNA.
Here, my genetics are Iron Man.
Sounds awful. No wonder why.
That's like something a kid would say on the playground.
I could just be making that up because that is really stupid. And if they did that, that'd be crazy.
I wouldn't be surprised if like a whole Iron Man suit just came in flying.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised.
No, but there was one that was absolutely ridiculous though, because it came out with the guy's actual clothing and rings, so it's just as absurd as Iron Man's, I guess.
Okay, I got it all here. Okay, so she has Hulk's super strength. Drax's abilities, it doesn't say what.
His abilities. Yes, that guy. Whatever he has.
The tattoos and all. Apparently the tattoos are genetic on him.
Wow. All right. Frost Beast's powers. I don't know who
I don't know
Frost
who that
Beast
is.
I think
No.
that might be from Thor, the
Okay.
original, the Frost Giants, maybe.
And Korg's mode from
And
Thor.
what's that?
Wait, Korg's mode?
Korg's
Like-
mode. Yeah.
Like a transformer, like a bot mode?
She's also got Mantis's telepathy, Captain Marvel's energy, and Ghost's phasing power.
Man.
So she's
That
a
was-
Mary Sue,
God.
kind of.
She's a Mary Sue, yeah.
Well, she would be if
And
anybody
y'all
actually
thought Ray
watched the
was a
show and
Mary
liked
Sue.
it. I can
And
do
y'all thought-
everything.
But that's the thing, you see,
The
that
show
this
is
is the
so
crap
awful.
they've given us, aren't they? They should just stop doing this now. You know, it's rubbish. If heroes don't fall, then you can't root for them. Do you know what I mean? So.
Yeah. This reminds me of that South Park episode. Is it Good Times with Weapons, where the animated style one, where they all play as sort of ancient superhero type things, but they all have one power. But then Cartman just keeps giving himself all the powers because that's the kind of person he is. He's a selfish shit.
Sounds like
and then
Dave Filoni.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Oh goodness. Well, I kind of hope she never reappears again then, because having someone with all of those powers could potentially break an awful lot of stuff.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like Marvel.
Yeah, there's a
and
lot of
Disney.
there's a lot of problems with the Skrull race, and they're just like really incompetent.
I'm assuming they've resolved the whole scroll thing in Secret Invasion, so we're not going to go through future films thinking, well, anyone like these people could be a scroll even now, or is that still a real and present prospect?
No, that this could have made a cool movie at one point. Honestly, if it was
could
done
have.
Yeah,
well.
I think Secret Invasion should have been set. Was that Secret
As an
Invasion should have been
Avengers
set
movie, it could
either an
have,
Avengers
like-
movie or in between like the 5-year gap of Endgame and Infinity War. Like put
What
something
happened
there.
to the new Avengers? You know, they were gonna. There was that plan to have new people in the new version of the Avengers after obviously Iron Man died and stuff. What happened to all that?
They keep referencing the Avengers as if they're still around in like every Marvel project, but I'm like, who are they? I forget.
Don't know.
Like the
Ant-Man?
last, the last
Spider-Man.
Captain Marvel is part of it, right?
Hawkeye?
And Hulk,
Okay.
Shang-Chi.
Isn't Thor still technically in it?
Yeah.
But
I don't know,
he's
that
not coming
dude was
back.
like
Thor's like off doing something
like
else.
in another
Random
galaxy with a
world.
beer gut for years.
And then whoever
I
is
feel like
left
he
of the
lost touch.
Guardians as well.
But,
I mean, yeah, and then the Guardians are somewhere else in the galaxy.
yeah, exactly. And Star-Lord has gone back home, isn't he? So
It's kind of
yeah.
it's kind of like
He
the bottom
could
of a
show up.
popcorn bowl. That's what this all sounds like. It's just whatever kernels are left over.
Oh, and
There's
Doctor
two.
Strange as
No,
well. Doctor
there's-
Strange is still around, except that he's also in a different multiverse at this point. Universe.
Yeah,
I'm
They're
also
screwed.
pretty
They don't
sure
know what
he's
to
not an
do.
Avenger. So
Marvel doesn't know what to do. They really don't.
No.
And you know, they've literally screwed a really good idea. I can't believe they were making billions, weren't they? And I can't believe they screwed it up.
They did.
They-
So I could see on that
Less
new
is
Avengers
more,
point,
man.
back when they first started kicking them off, and even if the shows and films weren't any good, but you would assume that they were building toward a new main cast of Avengers. So you had Kate Bishop in Hawkeye, you had Shuri in Wakanda Forever, you had Ironheart as well in Wakanda Forever. You had, who else did you have? The newer, younger ones who were sort of first introduced in this set of shows.
Hulk's son.
Hulk's son, God, yeah, that one scene he had. Wanda's two kids, who I gather have superhero names. And so like, over a long period of time, you could kind of see them coalescing around this new core team. And all of Phase 4 should really have been building up this new core team with like smaller individual stories focused on individual new people that you eventually want to emerge as your next major sort of A-list ticket. But instead, they just they gave up on that, and it's just become the most disconnected, strange, like lack of cohesion mess that you could imagine.
I made a list, and if they had just released these, this is the less is more policy that I try and abide by. If they had just released these movies post Endgame, we'd be talking differently about them. Shang-Chi, Spider-Man, Guardians 3, and Loki.
Shang-Chi, if they cast it better, it would have worked. The version that I saw.
I think he's a
eventually-
douche, but like I think he's a douche outside of his work, but I think he's a pretty good actor. Like I like.
No, but he doesn't look like a
character.
hero. He looks like someone that's come from a soap. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's really bad.
I think he looks
casting.
fine.
What is this
It's
anti-Asian
really bad
racism
casting.
that's coming on this stream?
Yeah, what is
Asians can
this?
be
What is
superheroes.
No, I
It's
support it.
racism.
I support it. Talk shit about this.
Honestly,
British
I mean,
cigarette.
have you not read the comics? Have you not seen the way he's drawn? He's drawn like Bruce Lee.
Oh no, I have, but
Well,
I
that's what I'm
still,
saying.
you know,
Then they
like
got
Chris
someone with
Evans
a
doesn't
wide
quite
face
look
and
like
what? Sorry, go
Chris Evans is like too handsome for Captain America.
Oh, no
like, Captain
way.
America is more
True.
rugged in the comics and stuff. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Well, it depends who draws
Tony
him.
Stark is way bigger than Robert Downey Jr., but it's just good casting. I like the casting.
Well, Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. created a different angle to Tony Stark because Tony Stark was not like that in the comics. He brought Robbie Downey Jr. to Tony Stark, which made him far more interesting. That's what
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
and with Captain America, he's meant to be the all-American hero. So yes, he's got to be good looking. He's got to be muscular. He's got to be, and that's exactly what they did. They did that the first film right, and they did the rest of them right. Even when the swearing thing was a good joke. Remember in the second one, the Ultron thing when he was saying language and stuff. That's Captain America's pure. That's what I like about him. Do you know what I mean? So to take all that stuff away, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'd also like to point out seeing Chris Evans in that many movies with the physique he had made a lot of Marvel movies a lot more watchable.
Yeah, for you.
Just saying.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I really don't. I don't even know what's happening with films these days.
Cynic with a shit take.
Did he misspell Andrew? That's crazy.
Yeah. What?
Simu Liu's fine. Well, maybe this is the problem. Cynic agrees with me. That's probably not a good sign.
He's so just generic. He's like the
Liu's
Hyper Payne
fine.
Harold of superheroes. He's just a stock meme guy. And the generic man who you can stick in pretty much any context and you think, oh, he's there. And then 5 minutes later, you forget what he looks like. I'm struggling to remember what he looks like. I have to go back to Barbie to remember what he looks like.
I think I just mostly hate him just because of him in like press tours. He's just so cringe. Like, I think when he said,
who
like,
are we talking about?
Simu Liu.
Oh.
See, you already forgot who he was. You see, that it's proof of what
the other Ken that was the only bad Ken in Barbie.
Do you know? So he does the Google Pixel ads now, right? So in literally every movie I have seen in a Canadian theater in the last year, they always play his Google Pixel ads. They don't. If he's in an ad, they'll play it because he's Torontonian and he's Canadian.
Torontonian, love it.
He's such
Canadian.
I don't want to get the stream demonetized, so I'm just going to keep calling it. He's a British cigarette. I can't stand the guy. He's really, really annoying.
But the thing is, though, they're trying to push him as a star, but he isn't. Same thing with Denzel Washington's son. They're trying to make him a lead in films. They put him in Tenet. They put him in this. What is this? The Creator. He's not a lead. He is not a lead. And this same guy you're talking about, the British cigarette, he's not a lead either. There's something about him that just doesn't work. So I don't understand the casting today. I really don't. Anyway,
I just like this one because like Chad Chi is actually quite a good alternative title to the film, or even Chad Jinping.
Yeah, I think what is it? Zax has it. He was really popular because of Kim's Convenience. I think that's the only reason they cast him because they couldn't find another recognizable, semi-popular young Chinese face to put in the role. So they just cast a dude that was close enough.
He was campaigning to be the role, so
he looks nothing like the comic version. That's the thing.
It's fine.
I don't think
it's close enough.
If they cast right, it would have probably worked better.
It's an Asian guy. Just throw him in the role.
The bus fight was good though. That's all I can say. That was the best thing.
Yeah, the
about
bus scene was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I just think like Shang-Chi has some potential. So.
Shang-Chi was so like. The ending was just so terrible. I was like, you could work, and then the last half happened.
Yeah, I hated the ending with the generic CGI creature fight. You know, it's like
you have this big fight between him and his father, and you could do like this Luke Vader moment with them. And it's like, okay, maybe you have something here, and then he just gets off by a dragon.
Yeah, there's a reason Civil War's ending worked pretty well, and it's because it was just like an intimate fight just between those three guys. So if Shang-Chi just ended with, the fight with his dad, that would have been way better. it's like this obligatory crap. Gotta have a CGI creature, man.
And then like that one masked, the one masked villain in that that movie, like just like got drug up and sucked out by a dragon or some dragon for comedy.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, thank you.
Going back to the point, so let's say they had only released what the films you said were Shang-Chi, Loki,
Spider-Man, and
Spider-Man, yeah. Guardians 3. But so like how could you have taken it then somewhere else? Because like Guardians 3 obviously just finishes off.
Yeah, Spider-Man introduced the multiverse. There you go.
Oh no.
Loki introduced the concept of the main villain.
I think Doctor Strange introduced the multiverse.
Well,
Doctor Strange after Spider-Man, wasn't it?
Yeah, but Doctor Strange was like in Spider-Man, and they talked about the multiverse. A multiverse version of Spider-Man came into the movie. Like, there you go. The audience understands the concept of the multiverse. Got it.
Yeah.
I honestly think if you get rid of Loki and you replace that with Ant-Man, that is a better turnout or a better outcome. Because like
I'd rather have that, because then I just get it over with in one movie.
Yeah, like Ant-Man's really bad, but Loki is really, really bad. Like that show is incomprehensible. Like it destroys the entire concept of like any stakes at all, any meaning at all to any choices. It gets rid of like free will in the first episode. Which
the
like
slightly worrying thing as well is that they might actually be basing an awful lot more of the future stuff around Loki, because there was an interview. There's some new Marvel book, like a compilation book about the official MCU timeline, and Kevin Feige was giving an interview around its launch, basically saying that it is a bit of a mess, he admitted, but when we were going through trying to figure it out, we realized that the supreme authority in all of this is the TVA and Loki. And so they are the natural thing around which to build whatever you're doing with a multiverse. And so when eventually everything clashes, the way to make sense of it will probably be by harking back to Loki and what they introduced with the TVA, which is ridiculous because I don't think the TVA makes any sense at all. However, that seems to be where we're going.
Ant-Man is unironically a better story.
Do you think it's because Loki's probably the most popular product out of all those, amongst the failures? Yeah.
Is it though? I mean, I don't know what the viewing figures are for Loki, but my impression is
my impression is that we are actually in the minority to dislike Loki. Like, I think the general public liked Loki. At least season one. I don't know about
love Loki. Like that's what they watch before they have sex with their husbands at this point. So
that's because they really like Tom Hiddleston for no reason I've been able to figure out. Why would you want someone who doesn't act? He looks the same way in any given situation. You wouldn't be able to tell if he'd come.
Listen, it's that one line, the Mewling Quim line.
But hold on,
looks concerned.
If it is that successful, why don't they tell us how many people's watching?
They did when it first came out.
They say minutes, which is just an absurd thing to do.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's just like, here's 1 million numbers. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's a big number. So, haha.
Here's 1 billion numbers. Go figure it out on your own.
What Yahoo?
That I got the impression absolutely nothing. Loki was enjoyed by most people who saw it, but I didn't get the impression lots of people had seen it. Yeah. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I don't know anyone who's watching Loki. Even among the film review guys, I don't know anyone who's really watching or following along with Loki. So received Loki, by the audience. If the audience Loki is tiny,
Loki season 2 is failing in terms of compared to the first season. Like, the first season did pretty well. Oh, he's gone. The first season did pretty well. Compared to the other shows, and then season 2 is just right along with the other shows. Like, nobody cares really. Like, people probably watched the first episode of season 2 and then probably left because episode 1, there's this big theme of him time slipping. He's time slipping in the trailers, and it's he's teleporting between time and the TVA, even though it's been well established that time doesn't work in the TVA. So how is he time jumping in the TVA? We don't know, and we're not going to explain it. Anyway, that happens in the trailers, and it's the big thing, that's the big mystery to solve in the trailers. And then it gets solved in the same episode that it shows up in. So episode 1, you can just stop. So,
question. Didn't the end of I can't be fucking bothered to watch all of this Marvel stuff. I have a life.
No, me either.
But,
I'm right there with you.
But didn't the
really
end
hard.
of Loki season 1 kind of set it up so that the female Loki or whatever would take over most of the series moving forward? And wasn't that what was teased for season 2?
Yes, but she just works at McDonald's.
You see, this is the crap.
I'm not kidding.
They put a woman in the kitchen?
I'm not kidding. Well, the cash register, but yeah, same idea. Yes. In episode 2, she is just at McDonald's. She works at McDonald's.
Is that meant to be a joke?
No, this is supposed to be completely serious. This is just like a brand thing that they did with McDonald's to sell like some Loki sauce, like the Szechuan sauce from like Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Tom Hiddleston's sauce.
Yeah. So it's like accidentally based. Yeah, pretty much. Like she has a pickup truck. She like has a friend at work. Like she lives a very lonely life, but apparently she wants that instead of like fixing like the problem she started and like continuing to fight the TVA. I don't know. Don't ask me questions about the character motives. They don't work.
What a load of rubbish. Seriously, who would watch that? Oh, you would, I guess.
Yeah.
It sounds really bad.
Because I hate myself.
Sounds really bad. Why would I watch that?
Why would you do that to yourself?
Seriously, put on McDonald's.
Yeah, it's especially weird just because like I wasn't as frustrated with the first season when I watched it. I didn't really have any opinion about the show when I first watched it. I was like, this is a show. But this season in particular, like I've gotten more and more annoyed just because like I think like the editing is worse, the how it's shot is worse, like it's just so awkwardly paced. And then on top of that, the dialogue is definitely worse. The acting is horrendous, other than Tom Hiddleston and Lightning McQueen. But yeah, every other character is like just drug up from the street.
I think the problem is read these screenplays, isn't it? The way it's written, they don't have any clue about three thing structure on screenplays. As far as I can tell, when I'm watching these TV shows, everything it seems it was happening. Must be. I noticed it when I was watching Sherlock on the BBC when I had a cliffhanger in season whatever it was, and then when I came back to the new season, they had made no reference to how he survived. Is this the new writing now? Is that what they're doing? Creating stuff that doesn't make any sense and just ignoring it and then moving forward? Is that what they're doing?
They just write something and they just it's like it's how I know I have a friend who described Dave Filoni's writing as this, but it relates to Marvel as well. It's IKEA writing. You are given lines and things. It's not a story. You have to build the story at home, except they forgot to ship the instructions. So you're just kind of left there with pieces. And if you figure it out, I mean, good for you. I guess you had to replace a bunch of broken parts, but good for you.
Good headcanon.
Yeah, good headcanon, buddy.
It's terrible.
There's so much headcanoning that goes on though, and it's really annoying as well when you find people coming out and they're incredibly certain. They say, no, you're completely wrong because the character thought this, and that's why they did that, and that makes it all make sense. And then you think, well, where is that in the show though? Yeah. And they say, well, it's not in the show, but that's what they thought. No, that's what you thought. The entire thing exists in your head. It's modern art. You're looking at like a turd scraped on a piece of paper stuck on the wall of the Tate Gallery in London. And then people go in and say, oh my goodness, how genius that is. Like, no, that's just taking you for fools. But, by all means, portray yourselves as such.
Three-act structure, a simple thing like that. None of the new shows actually displays any of that. They just keep writing, and you're watching something, and it just goes on forever. They talk, and it doesn't result to anything. It's just bad. I just watch old shows now. I can't be asked.
This is the same writer who wrote season 1 and MOM. So
season 1 was rubbish. Come on,
it's following the trend of not making any sense.
Oh, what's the guy's name? I know who you're talking about. I want to say Michael Waldron. That's the one. Isn't he doing another one of the big films coming up? I'm sure he's been put in charge of one of the major Marvel
someone
releases.
got booted off this.
No, he got fired. I'm pretty sure he's off.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Safe.
Yeah, Waldron was the one.
I think he got kicked off that and his Star Wars movie. I'm pretty sure. So thank God.
Just seriously,
well, no,
just
not his Star Wars
mind.
movie, but Kevin Feige's Star Wars movie. But still,
Kevin Feige needs to. If I see him, I'll punch him in the face. He really, literally wrecked something that I loved, which was I love reading Marvel comics and watching the movies, and after Endgame, I thought, it's the only way is up now. But no, he just wrecked it all, didn't he? Completely wrecked it. Mind you, the writing was on the wall when Captain Marvel starred in Endgame. It just felt shoehorned in.
Yeah. But they had to conclude this story that they had already committed to, 10 years in the making, but that they were laying the groundwork for what was to come, which was destruction of the most successful franchise in movie history in like 2 years.
Yeah.
Like really impressive.
The speed genuinely is impressive. Like you can understand if it flames out over a course of 5 years, maybe, or 10, it's just a slow, steady decline. But yeah, from Infinity War to now, in the space of 3-4 years, is there must be some kind of Guinness World Record thing for that.
But isn't Disney in trouble?
Can, take out a year because the pandemic accounted for one, and they released nothing. So
and they blamed their crappy work on the pandemic.
Black Widow isn't nothing. It's just not very good.
Oh no, I mean 2020 itself, they released nothing.
Sever the nerve.
Terrible film. Absolutely awful.
Hits nose on desk. Makes
I know.
Irrelevant quote. Cinema.
Prime cinema.
The bit which he slams her own head into a table to beat the villain is just that's a good film.
See, I didn't get it the first time I watched it. I thought he was talking about like his perfume, like he has a cologne that he wears that makes him I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. And then it's like, no, it's just his musk.
He just smells so like endearing.
I'm like, okay, that's disgusting.
Ray Winston the Russian smells so good that women just do what he tells them to. And the only way to stop is to smash your own face into a fucking table, and then you'll be fine.
Whenever a woman tries to kill him, she's just like, oh no, I can't kill you. You're too sexy.
Well, he did star in Sexy Beast, didn't he? So,
True, he did.
Yeah.
I pointed that out in my review too, Dave. Yeah, Black Widow's callous disregard for everyone killed by the avalanche was chef's kiss. That was amazing. They're criminals. Who cares?
Is this movie better or worse than Thor 4? I haven't seen the Black Widow movie yet.
Oh,
it's terrible.
It's was a movie of all time.
Thor 4 is my measuring stick, kind of. So is it above that or below that?
I'd say it's above Love and Thunder, because Love and Thunder at least ruins something that could have been really kind of okay. Like it takes a long-established character who has a history in the franchise and reduces him into a joke and makes like the most serious and important things, like the death of his girlfriend forever, being like again another joke, and it just leaves you with absolutely nothing. It's just empty laughs and Taika Waititi. Whereas Black Widow is just bad, but because it was a prequel anyway, and you knew the character was already going to die, there was no real future potential. I don't think that they squandered with that. Except, of course, that they're now bringing back some of the characters for what's it called? Skeleton Crew is the Star Wars one.
Thunderbolts,
that's the one.
Mm-hmm. The sister, right? Isn't she supposed to be a big character moving forward now?
Taskmaster. I think those are the two. The Russian Captain America guy, Red Star. I don't remember.
In the last 4 film, he didn't win at all. He didn't even have a victory or anything at the ending of the film. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And they also squandered a legitimately great villain, or at least a villain with great potential. I think Gordo God Butcher, great actor in the role, and a pretty good performance, actually. He's playing about 3 different people because they can't write properly, but he plays them all very well. And the premise of this character is really big and threatening and, has severe universal connotations. And they got rid of him in the space of one completely redundant film. So that's not a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
Just badly written rubbish. That's what it was. Ah, well, never mind.
Yeah, what is Thunderbolts? I'm on with Chris.
It is.
Comment here.
It's like
you
the
plug
Suicide
into your
Squad,
computer.
but Marvel's version.
Is it?
It's like the B team of the B team, pretty much. Like I looking at the picture of it, it's just like the bottom of the bucket. Like they're just like, look, you got these.
So it's just content for the sake of content, and then scraps they can pick up later if they run out of ideas.
But the actor strike is still on though, so they can't really do anything at the moment. Is it still on, or has it been resolved?
Oh no, it's still on.
Yeah,
actors is on. Writers is good now.
Yeah, I think writers was resolved.
And they just left the actors in the dust. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, the actors have specific dress up rules for Halloween now. That's
that's so funny.
Really?
Yeah, they can't wear like I think it's like specific costumes depending on what movies or companies they've been associated with. So they can't wear certain costumes during Halloween this year, especially if they're part of the picketers or whatever.
I think if you're Hollywood, I think you've got the advantage over them, haven't you? Because you could use other. I'm assuming you can use actors that are not part of the union if you wanted to make films, right? Because actors don't sell anymore. Brad Pitt doesn't sell a movie. None of the stars don't sell movies anymore. So, Hollywood, they might as well just go for unknowns now in their films.
You're right. I mean, you can cast overseas, for example, as long as there's no agreement between the union in that country and the union in America that they're allowed to strike in solidarity, for example. So I think for on-screen talent, it's probably stricter. For voice talent, it's much easier because there's not the same sort of union crossover. So when they threaten to extend the actor strike to video games as well, because why the hell not? It's actually not too much of a big deal because most game companies have a pretty easy job sourcing talent overseas.
Yeah.
So good luck to the actors with that one.
Yeah, that was funny when they announced that the game, like, writers like for game companies can and like game developers can strike, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's cheaper to make films in Budapest or even the UK and stuff like that. And if Hollywood really wants to make a movie, they can literally go to Budapest or the UK for a tax break and stuff like that and use their actors.
And because lots of the strike is also about revenue from streaming services, but the streaming services are the ones best positioned to say, well, we're going to just increase our share of foreign content. I think Netflix, shortly after the strike began, said, well, we're going to be very much ramping up production in Japan and Korea, for example. Also, because those shows are actually good, unlike the ones that Western studios produce, which are almost invariably complete shit. But Squid Games, that's popular, so we'll do more of that. That sounds like a plan to us. But
also, Netflix is buying in loads of old movies, loads and loads. I've noticed that now when I'm on Netflix. I mean, they even bought Norbit. You know that film Norbit with Eddie Murphy? That's on there. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy. They're buying everything up, all the old films up. So, you can watch old films on there now. That's the thing. And Amazon's doing the same, I think. But as I said, Hollywood, really they're in a great position just to make movies without the actors. Because again, I would say that the day of the star is gone. No one. I mean, I don't know who's the biggest star now. Anybody? Who's
Tom Cruise? Maybe
there was Tom
but Tom Cruise makes his own stuff, right? He makes his. He doesn't.
Well, even when he does make his own stuff, it also flops. Like Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning. It ain't doing well. So
it probably would have made a little profit if it wasn't for all of the bloated budget from the COVID delays. COVID ballooned that budget sky high.
Chris Pratt might be the only other one then I can think of.
But he's part of Hollywood, so he's on strike.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. They're all on strike, but Chris Pratt doesn't sell a movie. He doesn't. And
and I thought I had heard discussed once before too about with the streaming services, if the actors strike, if what they're desiring is a larger share of the revenue, that's a percentage of watch time normally. And then they'd actually have to reveal the watch time to all these people who've invested in the companies, and it would reveal the fact that no one's actually watching the shit. So they can't do it, or they
tried to do a get around because the writers' union demanded the same thing, and the studios actually did accede to that. But they added in this really strict confidentiality clause, so the union bosses will know, and the studios will know, but nobody else is allowed to know. However, the more people you have exclusive contracts with, the higher the chance somebody decides to leak it. So eventually we'll learn these things. Maybe in the year 2050, we might finally figure out exactly how many people did not watch She-Hulk.
Well, we never knew who shot JFK, so do you know what I mean? So they said we were going to know, but around about this time, but we haven't. But I mean, I think the only star that sells now is Denzel Washington. I think that's the only star.
Yeah, the Equalizer, they made that on a reasonable budget, right? Yeah. So I think it's like made a profit.
Yeah. So I mean, as I said, the day of the star is gone. As I said, I don't know. Only Denzel Washington I can think of that would sell a film, but the other stars they sell around the world. Like Steven Seagal, right?
Oh yeah,
he's crap. He makes millions just walking on and pretending to fight and then walking off. Do you know what I mean? Pissing everybody off.
Does he still do that? I thought he was too old and fat to do that these days.
No, the foreign countries love him. Russia, Budapest, what is it? Not Japan. All these small countries, they buy his films. That's why he's still going, because he's very popular over there. So he's making more money than any American star. And I think there's another star as well that's Jackie Chan's making a crap load of money as well. He stars in awful movies, but
really,
yeah, he's just starred in a recent one that was on Netflix, something Strike, with the guy that was in Suicide Squad. The really stupid one with the
Jared Leto.
silver helmet. Helmet. What's his name? Who's the guy?
John Cena.
Yeah, he just starred in the film recently that Netflix put money into, and it was Jackie Chan and him. So do you know what I mean? Jackie Chan's making a shitload of money, load of bread, man. So I'm just saying that Hollywood.
Keanu Reeves is pretty reliable.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, like he's had his share of duds, but for whatever reason, like audiences will forgive him immediately if it's the right movie and the right role for him.
Yeah, because he'll kill.
He's charming. He's charming.
Yeah, he's so charming. You're like, of course he starred in that piece of shit movie. Right. Of course he did. I'll watch John Wick.
Jesus, I'm gonna go watch this movie.
Well, John Wick, innit? John Wick has revived him. So, John Wick film has been very... In fact, the first John Wick film didn't do very well, would you believe? And they decided to make another one.
It was made on like nothing, but it was like 90 million, I think, worldwide, and it was made on like no budget.
But so
the sleeper hit.
The financier bailed halfway through, and Keanu Reeves put his own money into it, and another producer put his own money into it. So, and then it just made slight profit over the money they spent. Throughout the years, obviously, it's made more money through DVDs and whatever, but it was considered a flop. John Wick, the first John Wick. So there you go. Interesting, don't you think?
I agree.
My impression is the stars thing matters more for TV these days. So when Chris Pratt does, is it Terminal List?
Yes.
The Amazon one? And that's quite big, and his name is front and center because TV is still relatively new to these huge hyper budget productions, and so it matters more if you can persuade an A-list actor to move across from film to TV. And it's one of the things that I think Marvel banked on as well, doing so many of these shows with recognizable big name actors who were in all the films. It's just that they might even kill that as well, just because it becomes so normalized so quickly when you see Tom Hiddleston in a minor league streaming show that it doesn't really matter anymore when you see another one. So for the moment, actors on TV shows matter, but they're probably going the same way as everybody else. But you kind of wonder how much of that is a reflection of just the poor quality of the stuff they're starring in. So
it is.
I know, because a lot of people got tired of, the actors got tired of starring in Marvel films when they were successful, because the actors were almost overshadowed by the characters they were playing, with the exception of probably Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Hemsworth were the two actors whose names remained bigger than their characters. But a lot of the others sort of got to the point where they thought, well, I've been in so many really successful films, but I also want to be known for me as an actor, so I'm now going to go away and do something else. And lo and behold, nobody gives a shit, because actually it was never really about them.
But I was talking to a stunt guy a couple of months ago, and he was telling me about, he was on this film, a UK film, and this black girl was directing. She was directing because she won an award, and she'd only made a short film, so they put her on this TV movie, and she was useless. Things had gone overboard because she didn't know what she was doing. Do you know what I mean? Nice girl and all that. She didn't know what she was doing. And then the stunt guy was talking to the producer and he was saying, well, why have you hired her? She doesn't know obviously she doesn't know what she's doing. And the producer went, oh, yeah, well, she's young and we thought we'd give her a chance, we'll still give her a chance, even though she's failing, whatever. And then the next thing he knew, she got offered a Marvel movie. So this is where we're going, right? They're basically hiring people based on their, I guess, their color, but also based on how young they are, and also based on, stupidness, as far as I'm concerned.
Are
so
you
this
sure
is where
she
we're going.
didn't?
Well, maybe, I don't know. I don't know, but I mean, as I said, that's shock. Don't you think that's shocking?
Yeah.
That they're hiring the person that's directing the Beverly Hills Cop movie, the new one. He's done nothing. He's done nothing.
Who's directing it?
I don't know. Some unknown fella. You'd think they'd hire someone that's that could make that film good.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying that they're not hiring good directors. Don't want to do Marvel movies anyway. Well, okay.
It's not those either. I mean, it's not just those. The thing that still shocks me is, say, Rings of Power, for example. The most expensive television production in the history of everything, and adapting one of the most well-known, much-loved, and high stakes, effectively, TV things you could possibly adapt. And they give it to two guys whose only previous experience is an uncredited role on the worst of the Star Trek reboots, the one that nobody remembers the name of. And you kind of get to the question as to why they're only hiring these people, and you wonder, but maybe it's something to do with the fact that they're younger and more easily persuadable by studios, for example. It's easier to keep them on a tight leash. They're not mavericks. They don't have the reputation that allows them to be arrogant. But as a result, everything they produce just seems like corporatized crap. And cheaper is probably a big incentive. But then if you're spending $1 billion on Rings of Power, then I'm not sure money is too much of a concern.
Well, why would you hire someone though like that? Because the person's not going to. You're just going to hemorrhage more money if the person doesn't know what they're doing. But I guess it's all, again, people. I reckon they're part of their religion, and that's why they're being hired, or their diversity quota and all that.
He just runs it. He don't care.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's part of the big cultural jihad. But yeah, well, anything left to be said on the... I know we got quite far off the Marvels because who the hell gives a shit? But anything left to be said, or are we transitioning?
We're transitioning.
I'll have more to say after it comes out now. Just wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When does it come out?
It's the 10th, isn't it? I think.
In like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
In 2 weeks.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Near my birthday. Thank you, Marvel.
All of the Ahsoka videos done before then. Hooray. Yeah.
Is that finished yet? Ahsoka
is finished. My reviews have not, but they will be going for a couple of weeks at least. But I think as we're transitioning between topics, weekly releases for these ones, but no, even bi-weekly. Is that twice a week? Twice weekly releases of Ahsoka videos, so I can get it all done. So 7 left, 1 tomorrow, hopefully, 1 Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday, and so on. While we are transitioning between topics, I think we might go through a few super chats if everybody's game with that, so we don't get what they are in reference to. First of all, from Campbell Patterson for $5. BSUP is back, baby. I've missed you guys. We have missed you too. I think this is at you, Andrew, from the beginning of the stream.
You really don't like Indiana Jones?
No, I like Indiana Jones, okay? I think it's a fine franchise, okay? I just hate Temple of Doom. I think Temple of Doom is a really bad movie. I'm tired of people saying that it's good.
Temple of Doom is really good. Temple
of Doom is garbage. It is. No. It ain't good. Oh, it's like 2 hours and 30 minutes of nothing. It's a side quest. Nothing matters in the movie. And also you have Indiana Jones like taking this woman onto a quest that she doesn't want to be a part of. And it's like you're just holding this woman hostage. Let her go home. Let the girl go home. And she's just she just stays around because we need boobs on the screen.
That's a female fantasy, though, right there. Just having a young Harrison Ford manhandle.
I don't know why I got mad.
Adventure.
She wanted it, is what vexes me.
Exactly.
Isn't Indiana Jones a pedophile in the first one? Like he bangs the girl and she's like, I was young. What does that mean? What does that mean?
She said her actual quote was, I was a child, I think.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, that could mean she was under...
Or it could mean
she was
exactly
under 21. Like, she thought she was too young. It doesn't mean she was technically legally underage.
I think you're reading too much into it, mate. You are.
It's okay.
Especially Temple
if anything,
of Doom.
I'm not reading into it enough. She says, I was a child. You know what children are? Like 12 years old. So like,
yeah, but
to be fair, like Indy was like 18, 19 is what is kind of inferred by that whole like
exactly.
So like a child could mean then in that case, like he was 18, she was 16, maybe. So
I think that's still weird.
And also, why Willie Scott got linked with Indiana Jones in the movies? Because she had no choice. The people were trying to kill her, and then she ended up on the plane with Indiana Jones, and the pilots bailed, so she had no choice. She had to stick with Indiana Jones.
She was not. They weren't trying to kill her. They were trying to kill Indiana Jones. They weren't trying to kill
Indiana Jones. But they didn't care about her because they were willing to let Indiana Jones stick her with a fork. So they didn't give a shit about her, did they? Come on.
Yeah, that's but also Indiana Jones didn't care about her either because he sexually assaulted her when he grabbed her boob to get the serum back.
Oh, what are you talking?
So
anyway,
nobody
stop
cares.
there.
Nobody cares about this woman. She's just being drug around because we need boobs on screen, and she is ineffective in. She does nothing correct. She like gets him out of the "we are going to die" situation, which was a fun.
I need like elevator music, like time passes music while these two are going on.
What a great scene that was.
What a terrible movie. I can't wait to
send this clip to Lofty and tell him to make something out of it.
Yeah, clip it and ship it, boys. There'll be more of that on the 40th anniversary of Temple of Doom. That video's coming, don't worry.
Temple of Doom
anniversary, 25th anniversary of the Phantom Menace next year.
Oh.
Might even have to do a video on it. We will see.
Whoa.
Phantom Menace.
I know, way to make you feel old. Phantom Menace is almost 30. Jesus. Deoxys for $2. Love your content, Platoon. Keep at it. Thank you. I shall do my best.
I remember getting really excited for Phantom Menace when I first said it was coming out. Anyway,
yeah.
sorry.
And then it happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Jose Gonzalez has been a member for 8 months. He says he's almost at full term, which is true. Next month, you give birth to a little baby BSUP platoon. You give birth to a whole platoon of babies. Have fun with that one. Princess Vienna has been a member for 5 months. There are 3 super chicks syncing their periods. Yay! That is the Marvels summed up, I think. Should really be the blurb. Mega Geek, would you like to take this one for us?
Vinyl, what's that say? Morpheus for $9.99. Just saw the latest Exorcist. Does that say Shart? It was such a lovely touch to have Ellen refer to the priests who sacrificed themselves one for all of eternity as the patriarchy. Very classy. Yeah, I heard about that.
That line is like super annoying. If you've seen it floating around on Twitter, like, you know, she's talking shit about the people who saved her daughter and like sacrificed their lives. But on top of that, the movie just fucking sucked. Like, I go and see every horror movie if I can, and this is one I unfortunately got out to see, and it's fucking.
But it's really funny because it's diversity in it. Not only does a white girl get possessed, but a black girl too. So there you go, ticking that box too. So there you go.
The main character. What is hilarious too? No, what's hilarious too is if you like just watch for it, it's there. Like, so the black family is the main character. Like, the dad is the main character, and the daughter is like the main kid, even though there are 2 possessed. So every like horrible thing that happens, like, or that one of them could be responsible for, only the white girls are responsible for.
White girls.
And spoiler alert, so turn away for a second if you care about the end. The white girl dies too. So because like
no.
So she does all the horrible things and the white one dies. So like, it just makes sure that the that one's like the perfect, charming little child that did nothing wrong even while she was possessed. It's just a hilarious thing that like when I was watching the new Hellraiser earlier this year, I called what the twist would be because it was the only white character, and then it was the only white character. It's like, it really is it's actually causing problems within the casting. Like, I don't know if it's written in the script. I doubt in the script it's written like what color the character is. But in the casting, and therefore in the final product, it's just like, it fucking ruins everything. Like the Scream 6, the exact same thing. The only character that I was like, oh, there's one white person in that group. Well, that's killer. That's fucking killer.
And
it is like it called it at the beginning of the fucking movie, man.
The Last of Us did it as well. The Last of Us, you come across that group of nice white Christian people, and you sit there thinking, you're going to be cannibalistic murderers, aren't you? Oh, yes, you are. Yep. Lo and behold, who could possibly have guessed this thing?
Oh dear.
Casting spoils the plot.
Yeah. I go back to Shang-Chi. Bad casting.
Nikki Redhand for two.
That's what sucks is even if the actors do well in their roles, like it spoils the movie for me, so I'm not going to enjoy this much.
Nikki Redhand for £2. Here is some money for reasons. Hope the reasons are good. Okay, thank you, even if they're not. Vex, do you want to take this one for us?
Sure. Steel Manning for $4.99. Narratively, it makes the most sense for Peter Quill to be the new leader of the Avengers. He has the most in common with Cap as an analog.
Peter Quill will destroy everything. He's so stupid. Well, they made him stupid. He wasn't stupid in the first one, but as the films went on,
well, maybe he's matured now. His arc,
maybe.
The after credit scene. Right, the after credit scene in Guardians of the Galaxy 3 though just keeps him in the idiot role.
Yeah, I know,
unfortunately. So
yeah,
I would agree. Yeah, I would agree with this if they kept with the Peter Quill that we got in the first movie, where it was like he was boyish and he was charming, but he understood that there was a bigger purpose for him.
Yeah,
and then they just made him dumber throughout, especially in Infinity War. They just made him a fucking blubbering idiot for the sake of the plot and for Thanos to get away. So
you killed my girlfriend.
What a stupid line in Endgame. You kicked me. You missed it first time, but you got it the second time. I'm like, what? You know what I mean? It just made him stupid.
I didn't mind the decision. I think in Infinity War, it wasn't so much stupidity; it was desperation, which I think could be supported by the characterization and the work that had been done to build up that desperation. And also, he does go to shoot her, and Thanos stops him. So I thought that was quite effective, but then he becomes dumb again after the fact. But Guardians 3 was such a I have to go now, my planet needs me style way of getting him out of the show as quickly as possible, because that motive they invent, I need to go and see my grandfather he needs to go and see, who's not ever been mentioned across any of the preceding films as being anything like a motive, and yet now it's suddenly a reason. A film about rediscovering and reuniting family, and he's like, fuck it, no, I'm off now, see you later. So well, you clearly just didn't want to come back for Guardians 4, did you? So I don't know. I'm not sure I can see him as Cap, but I still think he should be an important character.
Don't blame him.
He's half a god too, so that is all the more reason to...
Oh god, he is. Yeah. The second film happened.
I don't think he is anymore, because the half of him died or something.
No, I thought it was in his blood though, because his dad was a god.
Well, was the power tied to that planet specifically?
The power was tied to the heart of the planet, and the power, like the gene, is still in him, but it is dormant now because the planet died. I think. Yeah. I haven't watched 2 in a while.
I didn't like 2. But I thought it was okay, but I didn't like 2.
I agree.
I liked the last one. The last one I thought was quite good. With the rocket story and all that. I thought it was quite
the rocket story was good, I think. It's just that a lot of the stuff around it was
Yeah.
Cynic,
would you like to take this one? I got the name right, so it's your turn to try.
Yeah, but I don't remember.
Grabowski.
Jan G for 50 Polish monies. Secret Invasion finally is great. Fury makes 2 god tier scrolls and just hopes the one not planning to kill humanity wins. And what if Daenerys goes Daenerys again? Platoon got the name right. Oh, there you go. You got the name right.
Confirmed. I have no response to that because I haven't seen Secret Invasion.
I mean, yeah, and he just trusted that Emilia Clarke's character was going to win.
It's clearly peak.
It's actually exactly like what? God damn it! What's his name? The fucking Superman villain in Batman versus Superman. Zod? It's like his plot. It makes no fucking sense.
Doomsday.
That he released Doomsday.
Predator Luthor.
Like yeah, Luthor. Yeah.
One letter rubbish.
Luthor. I always thought it was Luther.
I say Luthor.
Yeah, I like Luther better.
It's only
I'm just gonna call it Luther. Fuck it.
In the Superman the movie, what's his name says Luthor, doesn't he?
Luthor.
Ned Beatty's character. What's his name?
I'm pretty sure it's Luther.
I think it's Luther. It's just spelled with an O.
Yeah.
It's like any other like
Otis. Otis
Thur
pronounced
room.
it that way. Luther.
Otis?
Luther.
And we'll move on to the next topic. I'll do one more here, and then we can save the rest till later, which means I have to remember where we were, which I will not. But
You could.
wait, number 7 for $199. Bender over or Anika Thor.
Depends who's doing the bending over.
Loki.
But if you find a whore, then you do bend her over, so you could do both at the same time.
I've just noticed that you've got a new TV, Ben.
I do, because I'm back on the supercomputer now, so I can bring out the better monitor. It works now. Yeah, no problems as yet. It's just sitting there humming away quietly in the corner. Actually, we will do one more because I think he told us to read it earlier. Larry for $20 made you look. We looked, Larry. We looked. And we shall come back to the rest later on. However, there are other topics. We have, I know nothing about the Emily Blunt one or the Scorsese one. There is a Bond one. I don't know if we want to do that one first because there's been some Bond stuff.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we can talk about whatever. I don't care.
What's the Bond news?
Well, Barbara Broccoli's been talking, which is always a really good sign. So
Barbara Broccoli?
Yeah. Yeah, she's the one who she's in charge of.
She's the producer of James Bond.
the main producer of Bond, and the one who's kind of been blamed for Daniel Craig and for No Time to Die and all the rest of the bad decisions that have been made. But apparently, she said not only is the next film probably going to be 3 or 4 years away, but also they are really very, very keen on modernizing the character, and the work on modernizing the character and bringing James Bond into the modern day has barely even begun. So, if you thought the fact that he no longer shags pretty women was not modern enough, there's more modernization to come, which I guess means the next Bond film will see him boning plenty of men and maybe being really nice to women.
No, it'll be a woman. There you go. It'll be a woman being free and boning a bunch of men.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I keep saying that the only way to go now, especially if what are we talking about? 4 years from now? What are they saying?
Yeah, that was the quote.
That's absolutely ridiculous. What is wrong with these people? James Bond is a license to print money, and they're going to take 4 years bringing out the next one. Yeah, it just stinks of they don't know what to do with the character. That's what it stinks of. I don't know what you guys think.
I think you could have seen this coming even when, because all this Bond news kind of triggered a memory. I don't know if you guys remember, like 5, 6, 7 years ago, it was I think it was like the second or third movie Craig was in. There was news that came out that they were going to be revising all of the Bond books to take out some of the more incendiary language and references. So the writing was kind of on the wall then.
Oh, yes.
So, yeah, if you want to get Ian Fleming's Bond books, like make sure that they were published, I would say like before 2010 if you want the original versions of it. But writing was on the wall kind of even then before they started making these Bond books.
I think they started the process. I think there are a couple of them that have been revised. There's a villain in one character who I think uses the N-word, and that's no longer a thing, even though he's a villain and it's supposed to convey that he is a villain, but no, because we have to tame the villains as well. But,
no bad guys. That's too bad.
No bad guys. No, just misunderstood people. Society has failed the villains.
It was Daniel Craig's idea to kill off Bond. So he's mostly to blame.
It was like,
so that he didn't have to come back.
Please kill me now.
Yeah, I just thought it was awful. Such an awful film, that one.
Paul Chatto in the chat asking the really good questions.
It's because
film, to be sure.
It's because Chris Pratt is so handsome he doesn't need to worry about the signs of space.
He
killing
just
him. That's why.
His super OP space helmet. He just forgore, guys. It's fine.
Or it is the God blood. Maybe he didn't lose the God blood.
It did save his life in the first one, didn't it? It saved his life in the first one. So the God blood.
So it would just do it again.
Yeah, why not? Just on the modernizing Bond point, I think somebody brought up the new book that makes him into, I think the word used in chat was a cuck, and it's not incorrect. But there's the famous couple of passages. Incorrect. It's not incorrect at all, no. But the famous couple of passages where he's like Bond. It's from Bond's point of view, and he's talking about the villain. And he's like really shocked and surprised about how many straight white men there are in a room, and how it's never occurred to the villain to have a diverse, disabled, or even female member of his coup against the British monarchy. They're all just straight white dudes. And this apparently is weird. I still love the implication of that being that if you had a diverse coup, it would be good. So the coup is fine, but having it all white and straight, that's not on. By all means, assassinate the queen or the king, but make sure you have a black person there when you do it, because otherwise you're a racist. And that was written. I think that came out this year, and it was written by the guy who used to do the Far Show, which is really like depressing because the Far Show was funny. But if they're going to try and modernize Bond, then that gives me the awful impression they will be looking to books like that for inspiration.
Like they're modernizing him more. I thought that was the whole thing with Daniel Craig's iteration, was to modernize him. Like, how do you go even further?
You knew it was going somewhere.
Well, because society has changed a lot since Casino Royale there, pal.
Society has changed so much the past 3 years.
What was that one where the villain says, have you tried men? And
this is the Alabama Wyatt's comment. Javier Bardem wanted Bond.
That bit.
I took that. I haven't seen the movie in a long time, but if I remember correctly, I took that scene as like I do anything for my job. Like, this is nothing to me. If you know. That's how I took that.
Which Bond film is this?
This was Skyfall.
Skyfall.
Okay.
One of the worst ones.
I only saw the Casino Royale Daniel Craig Bond. I haven't seen the other ones.
The reason why Casino Royale was so good, the reason why it was good, because they had the old Bond people working for it. They knew what Bond was. You had David Arnold's music. You had Martin Campbell, who directed GoldenEye, and then when they swapped, they gave it to the other fella. That's when it just was stupid. The whole concept of James Bond. And also, nobody wanted Daniel Craig. The only person that wanted Daniel Craig was Barbara Broccoli, because she fancied the pants off him. So, and he's not even as tall as the other guys who played Bond either. And
who fancies Daniel Craig? He's not even handsome. I was even turned off by that casting choice.
Yeah, I don't think he's right at all. He's completely
British.
Wrong.
Yeah, dude. Never underestimate American women's desire for the British accent.
That doesn't mean that anyone with a British accent will do. Stephen Hawking.
Yeah.
They should have gave his little voice box a British.
Go British mode, and the women are just quaking.
But Christopher Nolan is linked with the new James Bond films now. They're saying he wants to go back to the 60s and have Bond in the 60s. I'm like, no.
I know that he said that he was interested in doing it. I don't know if they've actually signed him on yet, but yeah, I've heard that he's been interested in doing it. But I don't know if he'd want to seriously, like, in the long run, because apparently he wants to do more like biopic stuff like Oppenheimer. That's where his main interests are.
Yeah.
Also because the story's already written for him. But
it does help, because then he doesn't get to go in for all the time travel bullshit that makes Tenet so incomprehensible. But
imagine he just does that for Oppenheimer.
Like my internet.
He was attached to the two most prominent rumors for Bond were Christopher Nolan coming in to direct. And then it was between Aaron Taylor Johnson and Tom Hardy, I think it was, that the two names most recently put forward.
Both wrong for
not
Bond.
Tom Hardy.
Both of them.
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy needs to fix his teeth. Let's face it.
I think he's too old too.
He's the right age. He's the right age.
But he'll be signed on.
Well, he looks
for
too
several,
old.
Yeah, he'll be in there for several films, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Just put Cavill in there, and we all just want to see
everybody
Cavill
knows.
Amen.
There. Yeah.
Everybody knows that Cavill.
Aren't they like the same age?
Now, look, James Bond is meant to be in his 40s, middle 40s, or something like that.
Wait, Hardy's in his 40s?
I don't know.
I think he is.
Man, that guy looks so old.
He does.
Tom Hardy is 46. Holy
man, he looks old.
But that's the right age. That's the right age for Bond. Bond is a
so for
veteran,
one movie, maybe.
Yeah,
he'd be like a perfect.
Well, Roger Moore was. Roger Moore was really old when he became Bond. So, and he lasted 7 movies, for God's sakes. Do you know what I mean? So obviously, it outstayed his welcome. But I just want to see old Bond back. I want to see the cheesiness. I want to see the gadgets. I want to see the girls. I want to see different places. I want to see the action. I want to see a supercar. You know
I
what I
want him
mean?
to wake up in a ski lodge with a prostitute, and when he goes to
Absolutely.
leave, and she says, "James, I need you," and he says, "So does England." And he goes
That's
down the
what we
ski ramp
need.
and jumps off a cliff with a Union Jack parachute. That's
That's what we
what we
need.
need.
That's what we need, mate. I'm telling you, they copied Bourne too much now. Let's get back to the basics of Bond, and let's have some cheesiness in it and some fun. That's what I reckon.
I agree. That's why I quite like the idea of it going back to the 50s, 60s style, sort of in terms of time period, because it's such a classy period. There's so much vintage stuff you can do with the aesthetic, but it's also a period when technology is, a pretty new thing. Electricity hasn't even been around for that long. So that you can do fun, interesting, innovative things with it in a way that if you're going forward in time or you're making it oppressively modern, everything has to be smartphones and gadgets and hacking and cybersecurity. And it's all, you can do interesting things with that, but it's not what Bond ever really was. Bond was always much more about, the exciting, slightly cheesy gadgets, the pens that explode if you click them, the watches that have, supersonic stuff in them, the cars with machine guns in their headlights. That's all much more enjoyable, I think.
Yeah, so do I. But the thing is, I don't think it needs to go back to the 60s. I think they need to get a really good plot, keep all the elements in there, have some sexy women. Also, the beginning bit with the credits, put the women back in there, for God's sakes. I want to see naked women dance. Do you know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. Absolutely. And bring Bond back. That's what I think. But anyway.
Oh, yes. The little platoon for Q. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, just get in touch with my agent. I'm open to the idea.
I don't know. I'm tired of watching James Bond suffer, and Daniel Craig is the most ugliest Bond in my opinion ever. The ugliest person to ever play Bond is Daniel Craig. What's that?
He's just mid, looking.
He looks like a potato head. He's got these huge ears. And he in the last one, he looked so old, it was ridiculous.
Say that to his face.
Yeah, well,
wasn't he rumored to be
in a suit as well?
Was that? Yeah. Who was fantastic? Daniel Craig?
Daniel Craig was rumored to be Mr. Fantastic.
Oh, and so was.
Oh my God, that would be terrible.
Yeah, that was a while ago, and I think people reacted poorly to it. So.
Oh man!
What's that stupid film he was in? He played some French detective, and I watched 2 minutes of it. I was like, no,
Glass Onion.
Is this a joke? Yeah, I was thinking, is this a joke? The stupid accent. I think it was
Knives Out.
That's
with the Southern accent.
That was rubbish.
Southern accent, yeah.
I was like, what the hell is this?
British people trying to do any other accent, like doing Southern accent. All right, calm down. You can do American, just don't go any more south. Calm down.
I think Henry
it's way over the top, fucking like a cartoon.
They're just like, well, buddy, we're going to this house. We're gonna figure out this mystery, brother.
What
British? It works or like Platoon, where you just cannot say anything when you're doing
what British actor actually does a good American accent? Then, in your opinion?
Aaron Taylor Johnson does a good American accent.
Oh, really?
Tom Holland. Yeah, Tom Holland's all right. Tom Holland slipped one time in one of the Spider-Man movies, but that was once. And it was barely noticeable.
Andrew Garfield is a good one too.
Christian Bale's pretty good, but he has some things in his speech that gives it away.
Tisms.
No, I hear the Welsh in every role he's in.
The way his lips move.
Yeah, you can.
That's so British.
I tell you, the worst one is Ewan McGregor. His American accent's absolutely bloody awful. It really is.
Hear it, yeah.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I am with Jedi Brooks though. Yeah, Andrew Lincoln for Rick Grimes. Coral, no.
Coral. Actually, I didn't. He does a really good Southern accent. I was surprised when I found out that he was.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's definitely not super over the top.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little subtle, I guess. And until you get to those moments, Coral. Jesus,
it's also crazy when it's crazy when American actors do British accents, like Oscar Isaac for Moon Knight. It was just so jarring. For
the guy who played in Magnum PI, he sounded. I thought he was British, but he wasn't British.
Oh,
Higgins. The
Tom
guy played
Selleck.
Higgins. No, the guy played Higgins in Magnum PI. Anybody used to watch Magnum PI? No. Okay, then I'm really old. But yeah, that guy his accent was pretty cool. I thought he was British, but he wasn't.
Was it Keanu Reeves has the best American to British accent? What do you mean, Dracula? Anyone remember that?
Yeah, it's terrible.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but do you reckon they're going to cast a black guy as Bond in 4 years' time? Would you reckon? Or trans woman as Bond? I don't know.
I think there were like some fans that were
Needs to
pitching
be,
Henry Golding as Bond, and I'd actually be okay with that one. He's handsome, he's got charm. I think I could see him as a spy, in all honesty, if they went that route.
It's a black wheelchair-bound woman.
Cat's ticking all the boxes there, mate. That's what it is. Yeah, I don't know.
Doing it.
I think we've.
I know a lot of people wanted Idris Elba, but I know Idris Elba.
He said no. Yeah.
He said no. He's like, nah, give me my own thing.
Yeah,
no,
I totally agree. Totally.
Yeah, he was the only one I could think of casting choices that would, like, just that casting makes perfect sense. Kind of like the casting for James Gordon in the Batman. Like, I really didn't think twice about that.
Idris Elba's a good actor. I think he'd be great as like a Bond character.
Yeah, I think so too.
But
but he's probably too old now too.
Yeah,
Idris Elba's like,
I just think
40s,
it's wrong.
I think.
I don't believe in race changing at all in movies at all. James Bond is white, he's Scottish. He's got Scottish heritage in him, and it should be played by a white guy. Sorry to sound controversial, but that's what I think. So
how dare you?
Exactly.
Son of a bitch.
Sleeping Psychopathy has a good point. You do want to have a Bond who does questionable things to women. So maybe Jonathan Majors is the one.
True.
Perfect for the role.
Yeah. I don't know. It's gonna be hard trying to cast Bond now.
Man.
Cooked.
Well, yeah. Well, I think that's probably the Bond stuff done. We have that to look forward to. 3 or 4 years time, modernized Bond. So look forward to that. I'm sure it'll be special. So the next thing on the docket was something I know absolutely fuck all about. What is this Emily Blunt body shaming thing?
Oh, did she not tell some
I don't even
fat woman off in a restaurant or something like that?
No, it's like caught on tape that she called a service worker enormous. It's like maybe she was
enormous.
You know what? This comment from Emily Blunt, I don't care if it's 10 years old. It made me turn more gay for her, if anything. Also, she's not
Oppenheimer in a new lens.
Right. I kind of agree with her because I'm gonna be honest. I do the same shit. So my husband and I go to Universal, the Halloween thing that they do every year. And this past year when we went, I spent literally a 5-hour night just fat shaming people. Because there's so many fucking whales. Like they save up all the exercise for a year just to be like, oh, we're going to Universal, huh? And just keep eating those 3 pizzas for dinner. You can burn it off when we go to Halloween Horror Nights.
They're like
I'm
like
with
Santa
her.
Claus.
Y'all in America, y'all in America are fucking huge, man. And I say that as a person that's already a little chubby, and I think enormous is just barely scraping it.
Yeah.
So I mean, and it was dug up too, and I think like she said it on a show. It wasn't like a clip. So you guys, like, enormous is such a mild thing to say. It's not she's saying like,
and it's in a private conversation.
Exactly.
It's fucking
right.
Jesus.
And I don't. She shouldn't apologize. Right.
No, she shouldn't apologize.
But also,
and it seems like she'd have that kind of attitude too, and like good on her, because the fact of like when she said that as soon as she gets a script and if it says strong female character in the script, she throws it in the trash. Like it makes just fucking.
But who created the term fat shaming? People of weight. Yeah, exactly.
Probably someone that was really offended by something.
Yes, I'm saying. So I don't believe in that term at all. You know,
She
they're
should have
just too
just come
lazy to
out.
exercise.
Yeah, she should have come out and said, like, yeah, we do need to bring fat shaming back. Lizzo, go lose weight, and we all
Yeah.
would love her even more. She would be the new
She's too
star
busy
power.
assaulting her dancers. Come on.
It's only, but part of
Or
Lizzo's
whatever Lizzo's
lawsuit was
doing.
alleged that Lizzo fat shamed other people.
Yeah.
Which is just
Now that's just hypocrisy, woman.
Mind you, it's
Come
America though, so it is believable that there are people bigger than Lizzo. But even so,
That is
it was
true.
just, reading that was just quite entertaining. That Lizzo accused of body shaming. Okay.
Listen, if anyone wants to see anyone fatter than Lizzo, go to like Walmart.
Go to McDonald's, go to Walmart. Yeah.
Go to McDonald's, go to Walmart, specifically at like 10, 11 o'clock. You're going to see like Jabba the Hutt in like those motor scooters. And those motor scooters are going to be begging for their lives, man. They're just like crushed by 1,000 pounds of just fat.
No, Alabama Wyatt's losing weight is a real bitch. Tons of willpower. It's absolutely right. But that's the thing. Like, I think there's a difference between, you know, admitting your struggle with it and then just being like making it an excuse instead. Be like, hey, I struggle losing weight, or I struggle maintaining my weight, or whatever. And now instead, that used to be like even just 5 years ago, and now it's more like I'm beautiful and it's your fault that you won't date me.
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
Judge me.
And I'm like, what the fuck? Wait a minute. Like, that was an okay attitude to have. Like, at least you just, you know, you were honest with yourself. But now it's just different. So it's weird.
I had a friend who, like, someone was like poking fun at him because he was fat, and he's like, yeah, I'll just lay on you. Get out of here. Like, he's just like, yeah, I'm fat. Whatever. Move on. Well, the thing that's funny is like the one clip of the chick on like TikTok who's like, yeah, we need wider hallways, we need bigger restrooms, we need two seats when we board airplanes.
Yeah, you know how much more money that shit's gonna cost to produce and
they need to eat less. That's all. They need to eat less.
Crazy.
Drop the donuts, eat some celery. That's what they need to exercise. That's what they need to do. And the reason why there's that word fat shame is because they're too lazy to do anything about it. So, you know.
No, I think that there's, if anyone's really interested in what I have to say about this topic, a video is about to come out probably tomorrow or the day after.
Oh, yes.
It's hilarious that we're on this. But no, I think it's like a cycle, and it is really difficult to get out of because like people get trapped in it. It's cheaper to buy unhealthy products because high calorie foods are easier to manufacture. And so, like, you know, that's why like Coca-Cola can lobby the government to allow people to buy Coca-Cola with their food stamps, but you're not allowed to buy a hot cooked chicken. What the fuck? But you can buy a Pepsi. So it puts you in a bind, and you know, and it's really confusing. Like, when I wanted to get into fitness, it was probably the most fucking complicated thing ever. And I was like, because there's a million different things flying at you, so you don't know what's true. And like, I had the resources to be able to get a trainer, and that's even a crapshoot. Because they might just be a fuck all, like, and be terrible at their jobs. And so it's like really difficult to do anything when it comes to health. And it's like, but it's manufactured that way, and it sucks. But all at the same time, like, you can get out of your situation. Like, there are ways to get out of it. It's just really fucking difficult too. But therein lies the struggle.
That costs nothing.
No, you
go for walks.
Like, even healthier foods are more expensive too, which is annoying because they're not as mass produced as like fucking corn and like high fructose corn syrup and shit.
Amen.
I mean, even if you move away from the food part, though, there's so many other environmental factors that people also ignore. Like, the reason I put on weight was because of, you know, people were pushing fucking birth control products on me, and nobody fucking told me what a mess it would do to my endocrine system. And because of that, I struggled to lose weight, right? And then you put that together with, you know, all these soaps and perfumes and even like the dyes that they use on just most commercial clothing. Those all fuck with you and make it hard to lose weight even in that respect. So
yeah, and the plastics that are in the fucking, like, everything.
Yeah.
Like, there are some plastics that are like microwave safe. Does anyone actually trust that shit? You fucking kidding me?
Nah, we run it. Throw it in.
Oh man. And it's really, really hard to eat clean anyway. But all the same, like, you don't have to look like Ronnie fucking Coleman or Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Exactly.
You can. There is a way out for like everyone that struggles with it, for sure. And I think there's something better to a can-do like approach to it, rather than, you know what, I'm just gonna lie to myself, tell everybody else that I'm really happy with myself, even though I fucking hate myself. And then whenever someone like makes a microaggression towards me, I lose my fucking mind. Or you can just like apply all of that to, I don't know, going to the gym and learning nutrition. It sucks and it's complicated, but you can learn it. Like, everyone has it within themselves to do it.
Yeah, but then there's a huge disincentive to do that. I think like the problem comes when, you know, it enters pop culture. Essentially, people will be fat, people will struggle with their weight, people will be unhealthy. That's an inevitability. But there's a difference between accepting that's an inevitability, but having a vaguely shaming model of society when everybody kind of knows it's a bad thing, and so there's an incentive to get better. And having one where it's become this identity movement where you're now told not only is it fine, acceptable, and healthy, but actually, no, it makes you better, beautiful. It's something you can even aspire to be. There are influencers, body positivity activist influencers, who will tell you that it's actually a great thing to be. And, you know, the fact that their average age is basically, average age of death is about 35 should really give the game away. But it doesn't, because we don't really think in those terms. So, like, fat jokes are funny. I make fat jokes all the time. I don't really mind fat people. I've been a fat person. But the ones I really don't abide, and the ones I will happily be mercilessly scornful of, are those who tell the other people, yes, it's a good and healthy thing to be this way. It's like I made the point in the Mandalorian video, because Jack Black is in the Mandalorian in the same episode as Lizzo is. Jack Black is quite a fat man. I didn't make many jokes about Jack Black being fat, though, because Jack Black has never told me that it's a good, ideal thing to be, whereas Lizzo models lingerie and tells everyone that it is. So I think it's acceptable to shame one of them while just accepting the other one knows he's probably overweight.
Yes, Chad Reese, please don't take health advice or diet advice from YouTubers. Yes, the advice that you do have it within you to take control of your own health, I assure you, as just broad advice, is bad advice, and you should not listen to that. You should give up, everybody.
True. Give up.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
My problem is I can't gain weight.
Oh, just give it a few years, Andrew.
Yeah, exactly. Just wait till we reach 50, mate. I tell you.
All right. I'll wait.
It all goes downhill after 25.
That's right.
All right. I still got 2 years left. Or no, not 2 years. What am I talking? Like 4.
You get that tie around your midriff, mate. That's what happens.
No, gaining weight is because I was like overweight once, and
really,
and I was like I was like 20 pounds overweight for my height, and then I like rapidly dropped weight, and I was like 10 pounds underweight. I got down to like 125 pounds, and then like to actually put on healthy weight, I found to be the most difficult one. Like, to put on muscle mass was the most difficult between the three things of like gaining unhealthy weight, losing unhealthy weight, and then gaining healthy weight. That was like hard as fuck.
It is. Oh, to lose it. Oh, well, Jesus.
One thing I can say, though, is that a really, really bad lifestyle / diet to have is being a YouTuber and spending 12 hours a day sitting in your chair editing videos on Star Wars.
You'll just ignore your health. You just completely ignore your health.
You have to make the effort, because like I edit all the time, so that's not one of my main jobs. So, but I always make the effort to get out and, you know, go to the gym or something, you know, like go to the gym twice a week. So if you don't do that, you only got yourself to blame, in my opinion. You can't just sit in front of your computer 24/7 and just go to bed and do it again.
There's ways to work around that too. Like, you could sit on a yoga ball. You can also
or
get
stand.
one of those adjustable desks and stand. So
you can do that.
Yeah, bro. Or you could just get some fucking trends, rock and roll.
Let's get roided up, boys.
Dude, could you imagine Andrew on like fucking trend?
Yeah, boys.
Imagine Andrew at 250 pounds. Oh my god. You're like, I'm gonna put you in the WWE and sign you up.
Just giant. Have a heart attack at 27 and die.
Yeah.
Just from all the
you'll
steroids.
make it to maybe 30.
Yeah.
I think, ironically, it's taken less time to cover fat people than it's taken to cover any other topic on the show so far. But unless anyone else has anything left to say on the fatties, then we can move on.
Move on from Bond.
lastly, then was I think Scorsese, which again is a story that has passed me by. What has Scorsese done? Who is he shitting on these days?
The Flowers
I,
film.
I just wanted to bring up the topic. If anyone has seen it, I did not get a chance to see it this week. But
I saw it.
Anyone can, what did you think of it? Killers of the Flower Moon.
I didn't. I think it looked nice, but I was bored all the way through it. There's some. I just thought it was just too long, and I literally had to go to the toilet. I missed a bit because I had to go for a pee. They should have an intermission when it's that long. I should have waited it come on TV because I know it's going to come on TV. So I should have waited, but I do like Martin Scorsese, and I went to see it because of him. But it's okay. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but I mean, I was forced to go and see it. One of my friends wanted to see it, but the subject matter does not interest me whatsoever. I told him I don't want to see this film. And he's like, "Oh, come on, see it. It's Martin Scorsese." And then I ended up sitting in the cinema regretting it. So it was okay. I'm not going to say any more than that. It's just okay. If you're going to go and see it, then just make sure you don't drink a large Coke like I did. So, yeah.
The trailers are really good.
Yeah, the trailers are.
I mean, I'm interested in the topic. So
I'm not.
You said that it was too long. Does it feel like the length is unjustified then? Like the film drags out rather than like like Oppenheimer, it was 3 hours, but you didn't feel it, right?
Yeah.
It was tense the whole movie.
Yeah, with this for this film, I did feel it. I felt it was just it was over. I just think that he's allowed to. They give him a crap load of money now. He's allowed to do exactly what he wants to do. I mean, fuck the audience. That's what I think he's doing now. Because when you watched Irishman, it was okay, but it was just too long and it was self-indulgent. And it's the same thing with this film as well. This film could have been trimmed down to 2 hours, in my opinion. But, he was allowed to go as far as he wanted to go. So, anyway, good luck if you're going to go and watch it. That's all I can say.
But because he was complaining a little while ago about the fact that studios don't give backing to directors to have their own vision put on screen anymore. So everything has to be churned out and mass-produced. Yeah. And I can see his point. But on the other hand, he's been given that license. Yeah. And apparently this is what he does with it. He takes the piss. He makes things that are too long, too niche, and are never going to make their money back. There must be a middle ground between mass producing cheap, repetitive crap and, creating these huge 3.5 hour long, effectively wank fests for directors' niche interests. Somewhere in between that, there must be money is a concern, but also, you want a bit of creative vision as well. Maybe the occasional 90-minute movie would be a good idea with a story that people actually want to sit through and invest in. But I've not seen The Irishman either. I think the criticism I heard of that again was that it was far too long.
It is.
And yeah, if you're not automatically already interested in the subject matter, and you look at it and you think, oh, it's a 3.5 hour film or show about something. I liked The Godfather vaguely, but I'm not a huge gangster movie fan or anything like that. Am I really going to waste or spend that much of my time on something I probably won't be hugely interested in? No. Is it going to make a huge amount of money? Also, probably no. So why would a studio give another director the chance to have their vision put on screen if this is what the auteurs do?
Question. I'm still kind of confused what this movie is about. Is it a Western technically, or
no? Well, it is.
You got cowboys and Indians, I guess.
Yeah, but it's
historical cowboys and Indians drama.
Well, the trailer. When I first saw the trailer, I was like, "Oh God, this is ticking so many boxes. I don't even want to see this." And you know what? The film did tick a load of boxes in it. So I don't even know why Martin Scorsese made this film. It's based on a novel, right? As far as I know, but I don't even know. This is not the type of film he makes.
Even watching the trailer, I was like, this didn't feel like a Martin Scorsese film, and I couldn't even pick apart a plot because it was like, okay, so it's a bit of a Western, and then it turns into a romance, and then it's sort of like a bit of a dramatic thriller almost. Like I can't pick apart any plot just watching the trailer, so I'm kind of turned off watching it just for that reason.
Well, I'm not allowed to mention the word, but it's that plays a lot in the movie. Yeah, it plays a lot in the movie. Yeah,
okay.
Plays a lot in the movie.
Well, I figured that part when you start talking about Indians and claimed land. That's right.
Yeah.
People have been talking about this last
do you know what we did to them?
Yeah. So
No one likes to
we
talk about
kinda
what the
like-
Indians did to other Indian tribes, though. No one talks about that. So
Yeah.
That would be a really good film, actually.
it
Like
would.
this incredibly gritty, bloody, violent war between the Comanche and the I don't know many Indian tribes, the Elizabeth Warrens.
Yes, the famous clan.
Yes.
But you know what, right? Somebody said, I didn't want to watch Oppenheimer either because the subject matter didn't interest me. And then I got convinced by my niece to go and watch it. And then I really loved it. So when my friend said, let's go and see this Flowers film, I thought to myself, I don't really want to watch it. But then again, I watched Oppenheimer and I really liked it. So let me try this one. And boy, was I wrong about this one. So, yeah.
Oppenheimer is kind of the perfect example of like letting a director just let him cook, because like I was expecting Oppenheimer to be self-indulgent just because like this is Christopher Nolan's magnum opus. It's his best project. It's the thing that he's always wanted to do, and it's like it does have like some tisms that he has, like non-linear storytelling that can get tiring a while. It has narrative things that he likes to do. It has writing stuff that he likes to do, a lot of editing techniques that he likes, but it all comes together well in that movie. And it's not self-indulgent. It feels like it's doing it properly in a tasteful way. And then I haven't seen Killers of the Flower Moon. Probably going to see that tomorrow. But it doesn't sound like this is an Oppenheimer type.
Well, I thought
story.
it wasn't, but as I said, I know a lot of people that seen it and thought it was genius piece of filmmaking. It looks nice, it looks really nice. It's really good. Performances are terrific, but that's just my opinion. Of course, I didn't think much of it personally, but filmmakers are always critical of other filmmakers, though, unfortunately. So you guys might like it. So
in public, they're always so complimentary of each other, I feel.
Yeah, but it's bollocks, isn't it? I hate when you see this behind the scenes stuff where they're going, yeah, the director knew exactly what he was doing. As a director myself, I know that the directors don't know what they're doing. They always wing it. Everybody knows that.
Do you think it might be true about some, though? Like about Spielberg or
no. Spielberg's a genius, as far as I'm concerned.
Right. No, like he really knows exactly what
he's doing. And plus, everybody keeps saying, no, you should do one-ers like Spielberg, but it takes time to do one-ers, and you don't have time when you make a low-budget film. So that's what I'm saying. But I reckon most directors today are winging it, and it's all down to the editor that sticks it all together, in my opinion. So anyway.
Oftentimes, the time pressure is on the studio and on the writers as well. So that's what gets you to the ridiculous situation of Multiverse of Madness, where the director does not know what the end of the film is when he starts shooting the film. What are you supposed to do in that situation? How can you possibly build up any sort of setups to pay off something you don't even know will happen?
Yeah, that's true. It's as I said, I always laugh when I see behind the scenes with the actors going, yeah, he knew what he was doing and stuff like that. And I know 9 times out of 10, not even I know what I'm doing when I'm directing. So, you just kind of, you have a shot list and then you kind of abandon it halfway through, and you just, and then you're concerned about actually finishing it before the time is up. You know what I mean? So your artistic thing gets thrown out the window. But yeah, I mean, this film, take a look, go and see it. But I would wait until it comes on TV if I was you, because it's just so bloody long. It's ridiculous.
This is only a limited release in theaters too, for like a month or something.
Yeah, it's going to be on Apple TV real quick.
Yeah,
for sure. They just it has to be in theaters to be considered for an Oscar. So
so
this is Oscar bait.
Okay.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah, because it's ticking all the boxes, isn't it? Every box has been ticked in this movie. That's why I didn't like it so much. I mean, Wolf of Wall Street was fantastic. It was long, but it was still interesting all the way through, and I thought it was a fantastic movie. But this one, it just seems like he's literally gone out of his way to actually be nominated for an Oscar. All the boxes are being ticked.
Have you guys noticed that Martin Scorsese is starting to adapt to the youngins a little bit?
Yes, yes, and this is one of them. Yeah,
he's been all over social media as well with I think his granddaughter, who's also
Yeah.
a fatty, by the way. And they're just like they're filming like TikToks. She's huge, man.
Oh
But
dear.
like they're filming like TikToks and stuff like that, and he's asking questions about trends. So it's like
Oh yeah.
maybe it's just old age, or maybe he's just said fuck it, but it seems to maybe be on par with what's going on personally for him as well.
The thing I admire about him is that I don't know how old he is, but he's not giving up. He loves making films, and it doesn't matter what they offer him; he's going to direct it anyway. Unlike Spielberg, I think Spielberg has stopped now directing. He's still directing, but the stuff he directs these days is not very good. But and Tarantino's like, oh, I've retired now. Do you know what I mean? That kind of shit. But I like Scorsese because basically he just loves doing it. You know, so.
Yeah. Well, there was
Scorsese is almost as old as my dad.
Wow. He's 80 years old.
Still fit though.
There was something in an interview he talked about where like he felt like he was just now understanding like the full scope of filmmaking as
that he wishes he could
form of storytelling. And it's like it's a really good interview, and it's like that's like this guy's pushing himself to like understand the medium more.
And
it's a really interesting perspective.
I do admire him for that, and I think it's great. And you know, a lot of people like to put down people of a certain age down, that they're useless, they can't do stuff and stuff like that. But he's proven that, you know, even at 80, he can still.
He is getting up there though. So I'm wondering how many movies he has left in him. So
I hope a lot, because as I said, right, if you've still got your marbles in your head when you're 80 and you still can move and you're not in a wheelchair, then freaking hell, keep going, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Alabama Wyatt's right. Yeah. What about Clint Eastwood?
Clint Eastwood's going.
But probably quite, I would say probably different. I'm not hugely familiar with Clint Eastwood's sort of array of films, but with someone like Scorsese and certain other older artists, they get to the point where they think, well, I've done all of the stuff that people actually like, and I know how all of that works, and I'm bored if I have to keep doing all of that kind of thing. So I'm going to go and try and invent new styles. I'm going to do brand new things that no one has done before, and it's going to be daring and risky, and probably not very many people will like it. And that's fair enough, because most invention is shit. But in, 10, 15, 20 years' time, when the next generation is coming up who really admires him, they will take little bits of things that he's done in unpopular films and bring them back and make incredibly popular films by combining them with other aspects. So he's still adding stuff to the art form. It's just that maybe in its own, like in pure isolation, maybe he's not going to be very popular anymore because he's trying to do such new things, or because he's taking risks that he wouldn't have taken as a younger man who wants to be successful. He's done all the successful things now.
But why do it with so much money, though? He can make a small little film and still be artistic about it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, he could, but then if he does mentoring things, and if he's really keen to, proselytize the art of filmmaking and all the rest of that, you want as many people to see it as possible, and that usually entails big studio backing and big money backing your production. If you make a little art house, like George Lucas went away and said, I'm just doing little indie art house films only for me.
He didn't do it.
Well, he said that no one will ever see them, so we don't know if he ever did. I also don't trust that he actually has the ability to do that, because it's George Lucas. But
do you know that Spielberg directed a pop video recently? I think it was like 2 years ago, and he just did it on his iPhone.
Really?
Yeah.
What song was it for?
I can't remember the song. It's black and white. And him and Kate Capshaw was helping him, and he literally directed it on his iPhone. Look it up. I Google it. He literally, I think it's on YouTube, the video that he directed. Seriously.
For Marcus Mumford.
Oh, really? Then never heard of him. Who's he?
Of Mumford and Sons, I would assume.
I think that, I think so. That's Mumford and Sons.
There you go. So do you know what I mean? And Spielberg still wants to direct, but I think he still wants to direct. He still want to direct big budget. I mean, what is that West Side Story? What was the point of actually remaking that? It was beautifully directed, but the film just sucked, in my opinion. It really did. Yeah. He knows how to direct. You can't fault Spielberg's direction technique. He's so good at it. It's just pick better subject matters, man. You know, I hear he's remaking Bullet with the film Bullet with Steve McQueen. He's remaking it with what's that actor's name? Anyway, he's remaking it. So it'll be interesting to see how that turns out, because that's a thriller, right? So
I just want to throw out the name of that song, if there's any conspiracy theorists in the chat, was called Cannibal.
uh-oh.
If you all have heard the rumors about who Steven Spielberg is supposedly associated with.
Uh-oh.
Cannibals?
Amongst
a
other
cannibal?
things.
Yeah.
News to me.
I have not heard this conspiracy.
You know what? Someone enlightened my eyes to the poltergeist conspiracy a little bit with Heather O'Rourke, because she died really young.
Yes, she did.
And Steven Spielberg also has had close acquaintances with quite a few other questionable Hollywood elites that have been. Well, I don't want to get the stream demonetized, so let's stop it there.
Oh, you're doing Poor Guy soon, aren't you?
Yeah. I just reviewed it on someone's channel, and then we're gonna do it again on Monday. But I love that movie. That's a top 10
So do
movie for
I.
me.
I thought it was a
Yeah.
great movie. When I first saw it, at that moment in time, it was Poltergeist. Was it Gremlins? I think came out the same year, didn't it? Gremlins
Yeah,
and
it did.
Poltergeist.
Yeah.
It was a hell of a year for movies. I
Mhm.
can't remember what year that was. Was it 80 something?
82.
82. Wow.
I can't shake this idea now that Steven Spielberg is actually the villain in Temple of Doom. And that was a documentary film as opposed to something else.
Maybe, Bill.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but unless there's anything left to be said on Scorsese, I don't know if we had anything else on the docket for the stream this evening.
I did not.
I did see
Spider-Man 2
Spider-Man
was
2
on there, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, I just wanted to ask if anyone had played it yet. I haven't, but it's
Is
weird.
that the one?
Twitter's
Miles
weird,
Morales
man.
as well.
Yeah, it's it has Venom and Miles and Peter.
19 inches of Venom. I don't know if anyone's going to get that joke.
I know
saw
that.
that,
Yes,
yeah.
I know that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know. No, but Twitter is weird to be following like the release of a game because it's critically acclaimed and my friends are playing it and they love it. But Twitter's like, it's woke.
Oh, really?
Is it fun to fucking play?
well.
Like, I don't even care.
A lot of people.
I played the first one.
Mhm.
Oh, I played the first one. I really liked the gameplay. Really smooth. Web swinging was nice. The combat was nice. The story is not good. The story is really bad. Like I'm probably in the minority of people who think the story is like god awful.
No,
but it's just like
I
really
didn't think
bad.
It was great either, but it's fun to play.
It is very fun to play, and I think like that's fine. Like a game is like, just let me swing around. That's all I need.
I think that's the most important thing for a video game. Is it fun to play? Yeah.
So I've been following this because I'm wondering why the people that were fucking losing their tampons over Starfield aren't complaining over this. Because it seems that this is more woke than all the other stuff they kind of, there was a lot of outcry with the first one with Peter Parker and how pro police he was and how the game put police in a positive light. So a lot of mainstream game journalists took point with that, and a lot of the more left leaning people also, after the whole George Floyd thing, kind of hopped on that too.
Is that why the Miles Morales game had that giant Black Lives Matter sign in it somewhere?
Yeah. They're bending to the mob, and it seems like from the gameplay with this one, they've bent to the mob a little bit more by just kind of like ignoring the fact that police exist altogether. Then there's a black deaf girl that you do a mission with. Black Cat is now bisexual, and there's a little bit of the speech or conversation she goes through with Peter.
I thought she was in the first game.
Apparently she wasn't, but then I was reading that this is also something they did in Kevin Smith's version of the comic books as well. So it isn't a huge thing. And then there's Ukraine flags everywhere on top of that. And there's a whole issue with, I think Insomniac
like flying?
Just in the background. There's just Ukraine flags everywhere in the background of New York City.
All right.
And then another. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just like, like, are they flying or are they like a badge on someone's like?
Oh no, like their flags flying apparently, right? And then
All right.
God, there was in Miles's house there's a Cuban flag, but he's Puerto Rican, which I didn't know. I thought Miles Morales was just African American. Is he half Hispanic?
No, he's not.
No, his mom is
he's
Spanish.
half Hispanic.
Yeah, with a surname like Morales, you would assume he would be, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh shit!
What a load of rubbish.
But yeah, they put the wrong flag in, and people are just like, "Oh, that's kind of
that is yikes." I don't know how you messed that up.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, I find this like, do companies not know that word can like easily spread because of the internet of what they do? And like it's just so obvious that they just placate to some people, and it depends on the audience. They don't actually give a shit about your cause. So the fact that they take it out in the Middle Eastern version of the game speaks volumes about that. Like they just care about the money. So why would anyone support it? And how do companies not see that? Like it's not like this is gonna not be obvious to people. And there are so many examples of it too.
So this right now is now Sony's highest selling IP, I think, at 2.5 million copies
100%.
in the first week. So it's beat out The Last of Us now, which I think was the previous record holder. And then it's had a remaster, and then Miles Morales had his own separate thing at the beginning of this year. So I think the bigger thing is most of the people that are playing the Spider-Man game are a lot younger. And I see this a lot with like some of the more like teenage people, like kids that I work with. They either really notice it and just don't they just ignore it, or they just eat this shit up. Like for them, this is because it's part of their curriculum in school. So to see this in a game, it's perfectly normal for them now. They don't really blink an eye, whereas we have seen this steady decline and we understand how to recognize it. But it is what it is. And the first Spider-Man game was revered by basically everyone, so it's no surprise that this is doing well now. I don't know. I don't have a PlayStation.
I'm gonna play it. I'm still gonna
also
play
like
it when I get a chance.
They added the Iron Spider legs to Peter. You've got more web swinging options. You've got is someone playing the piano in my house? Okay. Sorry. And then you have like the gliding wings. I can't wait to play that. So I expect the story to be bad again. So
the gameplay is good.
It has Venom, and that's what
it has. 19 inches of Venom.
No, I've heard good things about the gameplay though. Everyone says the mechanics are very nice. The world is very nice. But it just seems the underlying things in the story and the character development are, bothersome for some people. So,
Red Barrington, I beat the game, and the only thing she listed off I noticed was Black Cat.
Ooh.
So yeah, most people aren't even noticing it. I'm just picking these out of all the videos I've seen on it kind of pop up on my feed, right? I don't care about Spider-Man.
Man, on Twitter. I hate it.
Me too.
I'm like, just show me the thing that's gonna piss me off the most, and I know that's what you're doing. Like like I was seeing negative criticism about the traversal system in the game, and all I had seen previously was praise about it. So now I'm just like just seeing only negative things about the game on Twitter.
I know there's like you can teleport in the game. I think I've seen a bunch of people say like, why are you adding teleporting? I can swing there. Like I want to swing there. Don't give me the option to teleport.
Well, yeah, but that is you do have the option. You're not forced to.
Yeah, but it's just weird. Like it's a weird gameplay.
And that was in the previous game too.
I know, but it's just like a weird mechanic to say, like, here's this amazing travel system that we have. But if for some reason you're too lazy, you can teleport. I don't know. It's just a weird.
There are ways to use fast travel, and there are ways not to. And I think a lot of games use fast travel and mechanics like teleportation because really they don't have the content to fill the worlds they've built. They create this huge open space, and there's nothing to do in the interim. So there's no real fun to be had from traversing manually from one place to the other. There's no point in not skipping it.
Yeah. Well, like even though the teleportation system was or fast travel was in the first Spider-Man game, I'd always swing because it was just funner. It didn't like the existence of that system didn't like.
You're Spider-Man. Why wouldn't you be swinging? Kind of deal.
Right. So I'd always swing, but once in a great while I'd use it. But
someone brought up the whole MJ thing because that was a controversy in itself that they made her a 35-year-old spinster aunt. But on top of that, apparently Peter's a fucking cuck. Like MJ doesn't want to move in with him, so he just kind of because she wants to focus on her career or whatever.
Dude, he was in the fucking Sam Raimi movies.
And then he kind of lets her get a thing going with Harry on the side and just kind of
sounds canon to me.
Yeah, sounds canon actually. Yeah.
Sounds canon to me. Fuck.
Yeah. This sounds like a canon event. It's probably fun.
Yeah, Peter getting cucked sounds like a canon event to me.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't impressed with the relationship building in the first game.
No,
because
I do think it's hilarious.
Moron.
That MJ is like her canon background is that she's a fucking professional model, so they made her like an ugly mid-30s like house mom.
What the fuck? The real question that everybody really wants to know the answer to is it better or worse than Spider-Man Lotus? That's a question that really needs to be answered.
Andrew would know best, actually, in that case.
Yeah, by default, yes. I don't. So unless Spider-Man is like outside of gameplay, intentionally using human beings as just meat shields, then I think we're fine. I think it'll be better. So,
Chapman and Miles Morales is a bit of a Gary Stu. A little bit. He has some isms.
They gave him lightning powers for some reason.
I know. It's just like here's a.
They're like, how do we make him more different? Lightning.
Yeah. And, oh yeah, and the Lounds go invisible too. Because why the fuck not?
Oh yeah. It is
just make him better than Peter, please.
Yeah, it is interesting how many like black superheroes have lightning powers. Like, there's a couple.
There's a guy called Black Lightning.
Yeah. It's like it feels like they're just like give him lightning powers. It's cool. There was a video, like a YouTube video that I watched like a while ago. I don't remember much from it, but it was going over every single one, and it's weird.
Well, like Vex, see, you're sitting in that room. Yellow goes very well with brown skin, so the lightning and stuff, it's good contrast.
I was gonna say maybe it's just because if you get a character to flash lightning, you can't lose him in the dark, so it works no matter what setting.
Oh man,
he's in.
Oh man,
dude, this might be some deep psychological shit. We need to get a fucking counselor in here.
I need to go rewatch that video.
What is in these writers and artists?
What is the significance of black people having lightning?
Right.
How fucking racist is this black character? Oh my god.
I know. I'm interested to see how Spider-Man 2 performs in the long run, because like I remember when the last God of War came out, it sold really well. It won a bunch of awards because it came out right before the big award season for gaming. But like behind the scenes, what a lot of people weren't seeing is there was like a lot of people ditching it pretty quickly because they weren't. Sony seems to be going down a route of having just more cinematic than actual gameplay with a lot of their IPs that more and more people are starting to notice, right? And it got to a point where I remember seeing posts online, like GameStops were getting so many copies of God of War back that they had to start shipping it back to head office. And when I worked at GameStop, that happened with the first Destiny, where so many people were returning it because they just were, this isn't the game that was advertised at all, that we had to start shipping them back to head office. So nobody talks about that though.
What's the return TOS for like GameStop or Sony games? Like, how long are you allowed to play it until?
It depends on if you sign up for their memberships, but like if you sign up for their memberships, then you have, like, depending on which tier, like you might have 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, 2 weeks to play a game, and then you can like trade it in for a game of equal value or something of equal value, or you can do like a full-on return if it's open within X amount of days. So, but otherwise, if it's open, they just, unless it's defective, they won't take it back.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm just wondering if people like played it for like 3 days straight and then just returned it or something like that.
Well, I'm just thinking like most of the people that are buying these games don't have the time to just sit down and finish a game like some of these YouTubers do, right? Like they do it progressively over months, but this was kind of in those immediate few weeks it came out. I remember seeing that. Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember a lot of people just talking about the story of God of War and not much about the gameplay, which is concerning because it's a game. But
that's the same thing I heard about those Horizon games as well. It's everyone was talking about that, but then the gameplay I just heard nothing about. All I saw were cutscenes show up online. I'm just like, where's the gameplay?
Horizon's quite a semi-good example because actually it wasn't one of those games where it is more cutscene than gameplay. It's just that there's really not a huge amount remarkable about the gameplay. In fact, a lot of stuff in Horizon is done to make it as mundane as possible for the player. So, for example, most of your enemies are these machines. The machines have patrol routes, and a significant part of the gameplay is that you have to try and sneak your way around enemies you can't yet beat. But they give you this little head visor thing which shows you the patrol routes of all the robots, so you can just easily stroll your way around. And if you do that because you like stealthing, for example, then the gameplay in Horizon is the combat is not particularly good. There's just not much to talk about, but it is like proportionately so much more gameplay than cinematic. It's just that the cinematics are the only thing that actually stands out as being notable, well done, impactful, and memorable. Because lots of Horizon's backstory stuff is really good. I like the whole vantage point system. That's the interesting stuff. It's just that it's just lots and lots of pointless hiking to get there.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
They give Miles a literal Wakanda Forever suit. It's called the Forever suit. God, why are they so cringe?
It is.
It's a black character. Give him a Wakandan suit.
Yeah.
Okay. I smell some racism.
Anything else on the subject of Spider-Man the game before moving on to the rest of the super chats?
Nope.
Oh no.
Okay. I unstarred the other ones so that you would not get confused.
Oh, see, I ended with Larry, so I remembered where we would be. But actually, unstarring them is much more sensible. So well done.
Daxon are 0 for $10. I slightly disagree with your BW reasoning, Platoon. I would argue it's more offensive than what is
Love and Thunder, Black Widow and Love and Thunder.
It's more offensive than Love and Thunder because this was their last chance to do something with the lead. Shame about Christian Bale, though.
I disagree because I tend to think disappointment scales with wasted potential, and they'd already done a lot with the lead. So Black Widow's already had a number of films, never as a main character, but her story is certainly her end in Infinity War already pays off a huge amount of like low level but quite good storytelling throughout the entirety of the MCU until that point. This was a film that really should have come out in phase 1 or never at all. But because they'd already done everything they needed to do with her character, I don't think they wasted anything going forward. Whereas Thor Love and Thunder, this is, phase 4, early phase 4. This is where we're going to set our stall out. This is what the next stage of the entire MCU is going to be, with one of the last memorable characters who everybody loves. And we got goats. And gore. Yeah.
That was so fucking annoying, by the way. That made no sense even comedically.
I liked when the goats showed up the first time because I liked the charm of Thor finding appreciation in these just absurd, annoying animals. And then the joke kept going. And then I was like, okay, this is the one joke in the movie. Thank you.
Yeah.
Also the Black Widow movie should have just been in Budapest because that's a whole in joke with her and Hawkeye during the first Avengers. I think it's even brought up in some of Age of Ultron. And then in this movie, they bring it up a bunch. Like they're in Budapest and they're like, oh, look, we played tic-tac-toe inside of these vents in Budapest. Oh, remember Budapest? And it's like, no, we don't, because you never showed us it and we don't care. Like show us Budapest, please. Like what's Budapest?
I have a question just about, was this film like planned? Was this film planned to come out a lot earlier? Was there like some pushback from Disney or Marvel to make this happen earlier, or was this legitimately just like, oh, she was one of the OG Avengers, let's just push this movie out because people always remember the...
Yeah, as far as I know, there was no plans for a Black Widow movie before this point. So there was no pushback, no delay. It's just they didn't have anything else to fill the docket, and they thought, well, she's popular and everyone knows Scarlett Johansson, so let's do this thing, and then try and release it during coronavirus on streaming at the same time as cinema, and have her sue us because she's not making any money. Yeah, good plan, guys.
But how dare she sue us in these trying times?
It's like I remember like back
the
when
free-flowing money of that time,
right?
God.
Like when Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3 were coming out. Like I remember going on kind of the fan message boards and everything. And so everyone was like, "Why is there not a Black Widow movie in the works?" Because she was an interesting character and she was a very dark contrast to a lot of these, you know, kind of knight in shining armor heroes that we had. So it's that's why I was wondering if maybe there was ever a plan earlier, but
there was a lot
of
want.
been.
There was a lot of want for a Black Widow movie. I think there was like an SNL skit with Scarlett Johansson in it about there being a Black Widow movie. But it's like her just being like a mom or something. I don't remember the skit that much. I remember she was in a pink robe. And then just like they never like thought of it. And then Kevin Feige was like, finally, now that the character's dead, we have time now. And instead of using it as like to build more onto her character, they just used that movie as an excuse to bring in more just terribly written characters. That was that. It was just build up to more build up to Thunderbolts, pretty much.
Purely on a technical level, it is an abysmal film. It might genuinely be worse than Thor: Love and Thunder on a writing level. But in terms of what it's not doing, what it's wasting, it's not that important, so it doesn't really matter. But the whole story, the structure, everything about the writing of that film is balked beyond sense. But, you know, she's dead, so it's fine.
Dave L. makes an interesting comment. Marvel didn't think a female-led movie would make money until Wonder Woman 2017 came out.
That's actually...
I kind of...
True.
I would have to push back against that. Scarlett Johansson was at the height of her career when she started Marvel. She was a sex symbol. People were paying boatloads just to see her in a movie, see her in a bra. Like I remember seeing bra pictures of her just fucking everywhere, like half naked Scarlett Johansson everywhere.
From the first Avengers,
right?
Yeah.
So I find it a little hard to believe that at her height of her career, when she was considered literally an international sex symbol, that a Scarlett Johansson pre-baby movie would not do well.
Do you remember?
It
Iron
probably
Man,
would have. But the thing
film.
is, like, a sex symbol doesn't like guarantee box office numbers.
Do you remember the Iron Man film where he was in the donut place and how they introduced her was a shot of her ass, wasn't it? Walking towards the table.
Yeah.
Do you remember that shot?
Yeah.
So it's just they should have made that film ages ago. But
they should have.
Because we also wouldn't have gotten some weird, The Message film or anything either, right? We would have gotten that badass, like, let's sexualize women kind of Black Widow. So
she was a femme fatale. Like, she's gonna keep the role. I mean, that's part of the role.
But also, not every character needs to have their own solo movie. Not everyone has to be a protagonist. Her character throughout the entirety of the Avengers phases 1 through 3 is a really good example of how to write an ancillary character. She has a storyline that's connected all the way from point A to point Z. It's really well done. Everybody understands everything about her story, even though she's not a protagonist. And it makes everything about the world seem much more deep when you know that there are characters with history that you haven't seen, that you are aware of. And that's really important. You can't have a production where every single person is a lead. And I don't think they even really should have bothered doing an independent film for her, even at the beginning. But if they were going to do one, then the beginning was when they should have done it.
That's right.
I could see like a low stakes like TV show, like the Agent Carter TV show.
But that would be cool too, or would have been.
Yeah, but she wouldn't have done it though, because at that moment in time, she was considered a big star.
Make him wait. Yeah, she'd have to get paid so much damn money.
That's right. Yeah.
That one Ginger Draven for $19.99. Thanks. How did we get to this point where writers working on adaptations not respecting the source material? I read The Foundation and can't understand how or why they came up with the TV show. Why can't they just create new IPs instead?
Money.
Yeah. I've said some nice things about Apple TV. I think Apple TV's done one or two pretty good things. Silo was okay. Tetris was brilliant. Foundation, ooh, my goodness. Yeah, that's quite special. I think if it were more popular, it would go down as the same order of travesty as Rings of Power, for the fact that it's this huge storied sci-fi epic, which really creates it. Without Foundation, you don't have Dune, you don't have Star Wars. Like, Foundation is pivotal. It's a really long, huge universe, an ongoing story by a classic sci-fi author, Isaac Asimov. And the show comes along. The show borrows some names, and that is literally it. Everything else about that show is completely made up. One or two bits they add into it are kind of interesting, but everything else about it is complete and utter horseshit. And you think at that point, you've got some basically good ideas for a new innovative science fiction show. This whole genetic dynasty thing they introduced into the TV show, which is not in the books, but it's quite a good concept. Then why not create a new show? Apple's been quite good at doing that, or finding smaller things to work on. Why take something which is effectively like The Lord of the Rings is to sci-fi, to fantasy? Foundation is quite similar to sci-fi. Why take that and then butcher all of it? It's madness. But I guess because it's got a name attached to it, that's why they went for it. But yeah, in terms of disrespecting source material, it's really high on that list.
It's hard to create something original and new. So they'd rather, take something that exists and climb on that, basically.
Well, it's hard to make something new and original that also sells.
Yeah.
That's the key, because the thing about Foundation is that it is new. It is completely original and new because they took nothing from the books, but they seem to feel the need to attach a well-known name to it in order to make it sell. And I think that's the reason they did it, is because there's a famous name and therefore people will watch.
Yeah, it's the only reason. The only reason.
Andrew, you want to read this one?
Yeah. Lima for $19. We could have had so many more movie stars if the proper material was written for them. So many young, good actors are being wasted on the wrong material. Why wasn't anyone written an action/romance for Krasinski / Blunt?
Technically, wasn't A Quiet Place action and romance for them?
True.
Yeah,
and horror.
There we go.
Yeah, his ears were scary, man. His ears. Like, if nobody mentions he has big ears. Nobody ever mentions that. Big really weird. He has big ears, man. What's going on there?
What's going on there?
What's going on there?
What's going on with those ears? How much can you hear with those things?
Yeah, how much can you hear?
Location?
Seriously. And they cast him as what?
Leave up for the $20, by the way.
I wonder if the movie stars thing is also just kind of a symptom of the times, because like
it is.
Anyone can also just grow to fame now off of like YouTube,
That's
for example, or TikTok. So with so much, I guess talent, right, coming out of those areas, right, and with people just being more plugged in at home now, it's hard to still sell a star even if they have talent and whatever, and to make people go.
But you know what it is? Do you know what it is, right? Is that YouTubers, they wear their hearts on their sleeve, right? And when they speak, YouTubers and people on Instagram stuff, that's the real person you're getting. But with movie stars, they're hiding behind their facade. They're hiding behind. We don't know what Brad Pitt's like, really, do we? But we do know, we do warm or gravitate towards YouTubers because there's nothing, they're not hiding. Well, okay, Blue Boy, no, you're not hiding anything.
no, I was pointing to Dave's comment. Sorry, no, Sniper Wolf is like the perfect example. That girl is so untalented, and she has like how many millions of subscribers?
Yeah,
34, almost 35 million subscribers, $16+ million net worth.
But you see, the actors are trying to get into it as well, aren't they? They're all all the actors are on Instagram now, aren't they?
That's when you do get to see who the actors really are behind the scenes, and it turns out they're just fucking vapid, mad people.
Yeah.
The lockdown happens, and they don't have an audience, and they all go insane.
Yeah.
And it's really funny to watch. But then you realize that these are not actually real people.
I mean, Steve Guttenberg is on Instagram and he talks crap. walking down the beach talking rubbish. He's trying to get that
Guttenberg?
wisdom. Steve Guttenberg, yeah. You remember Steve Guttenberg? I'm like, what the hell's he doing on there? And he's not even saying anything interesting either.
Brie
Loads of
Larson
them.
starts a YouTube channel and says, "Oh, what
Exactly.
games are you playing? Oh, I play Nintendo."
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Brie. Yep.
That
really
explains
genuine.
so much
played
actually about her.
Nintendo.
They just don't know how to do it properly. I mean, they just need the attention all the time. That's the thing. So I don't know.
Now what Nintendo does she play? What game are we thinking she plays?
I think she said a game actually in that pose. I think she was playing some Mario game. If I remember,
of course, it's going to be Mario, like the
Mario.
one game that everybody knows. What game are you playing, Brie?
The game that the one
Mario.
that came free with the system. I don't know.
I think it probably was Mario Kart in all honesty.
Wii Sports.
Why?
But yeah, I guess like the time of the star is just it's over, unfortunately, with the internet. Yeah.
It is. I mean, even Will Smith destroyed his own career, didn't he? Let's face it.
They really need to start
crazy.
Like these execs need to start writing into contracts when they sign actors, like you can't use social media for X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
It's single-handedly.
Rachel Zegler destroyed her career.
There you go, and now she's apparently box office poison.
Disney too. She took them with them.
Yeah.
Right. So.
But don't worry, she's going to be in Hunger Games.
I always thought that Will Smith was a very intelligent chap, and apparently he's not. He's been married to a woman that's actually sleeping, with his son's best friend and all that, and he's still with her. So I mean, he can't be that intelligent. Do you know what I mean?
To be fair, he claimed that they were in an open relationship, but it doesn't seem like he's taking advantage.
Yeah, exactly.
Of it. And
exactly.
Also, did you see where they got married back in the 90s? They got married on Epstein's Island.
Really?
Oh, dear.
Yeah. If you look at the wedding photo, like that Greek kind of temple looking thing that's on Epstein's Island, that's in the background of their photo.
Oh wow.
That's what I'm saying. Awesome. He's not that intelligent, is he? Because I always thought he
was. That's a crazy crossover.
Man, damn.
It's weird, isn't it?
Someone turned this into a movie.
Wait.
He was good in Fresh.
How do you pronounce this one's name?
Julio,
right?
It's Julio.
Okay.
Yeah, I made the mistake of thinking he was Brazilian, so it was Julio, but it's not. It's Julio because I believe Julio is Mexican. So that's how that works. I'm trying to remember what the BSUP law is, but I believe Julio is Mexican.
Julio Rangel.
BSUP law.
For $10. BSUP law.
BSUP law.
Glad to see you guys.
The book is thick. What
can
I say?
Glad to see you guys back in action. Best of vibes to you and your family, Cynic. We appreciate you, good sir. Thank you. I appreciate all of you guys too. Also, there's no way that Indiana Jones is a professor at 18, so I'm with Andrew. It is sus.
Well, the professor isn't going to be gallivanting around with a whip either. There's a whole lot of Indiana Jones that doesn't make sense.
It's really established he sleeps with his students, but his students are all like university students. So at most he's going to be, 18?
At least.
It's still
17.
Weird.
At most, I'm sure. Yeah. Good Lord. There you go, Platoon.
Shit, thank you very much to George Jones. I missed that completely, but thank you very much for gifting the 10 memberships there. We need to get George on at some point. I did invite him ages ago, but schedules have not permitted, but one day we shall have him here.
Oh, yeah. For sure. I had also a couple months ago had put out in one of my videos that if you guys wanted to be on the show, to shoot me an email. Anyone who has, I have all the emails. I've been meaning to respond to everyone, and I would like to get everything checked out and then get people on. So give me some time, but everyone who reached out, I saw you and I'll get back to you. Just give me some time. Appreciate the patience though. And from George for $20. Barbara wants transform James Bond into a modern broken beta male bobblehead, taking him out of his custom Brioni tuxedo and put him into a gender neutral jumper for a 2-year-old, pacifier included. All hail little platoon.
I don't think she wants to do that, but she wants to try and find the balance, I reckon. But she shouldn't be trying to find a balance. She should just give us James Bond. But you know what's happening, so
yeah. Also, Daniel Craig managed to ruin tuxedos. They don't even need a gender-neutral jumper. They just need to put an ape in a suit, and the suit looks shit.
Yeah. Daniel Craig, what a douchebag.
Chris Nicholson for $5. Despite looking much older, Sean Connery was only 30 when he first played James Bond. Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think Roger Moore was in his 40s, late 40s, wasn't he, when he first played Bond?
Yep, he was. Yeah.
Sean Connery legitimately looked like he was 50 years old.
No, what in the first one?
Crazy.
In the first one, he looked great in the first one.
Oh yeah, he looks great.
Yeah, I guess. Well, my James Bond memory isn't like I didn't watch those movies a lot when I was.
All right.
So
Sean Connery ones are really good.
Maybe he was like super handsome. Larry for $5. Pretend I'm a casting director and you are all trying to out for Q. Say, now pay attention, 007. Well, Platoon wins.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
there's no point in competing, is there, really? When Ben says something.
Am I frozen here?
No, you're still
moving.
No.
It's just that it's really bad framing. It's like Mr. Robot framing. Okay. Your head's all the way down the bottom there.
No, it's funny.
He's like a child. Let's get him a juice box, guys.
Wait, where are we at?
Now pay attention.
Now pay attention to what
Oh, it's my turn. Okay, so I was frozen on my end then.
Oh,
I did not.
No, you wasn't.
No.
Do I have to do it with a British accent?
Yes.
No.
Now pay attention, 007.
Oh my God, that was awful. That was Mary Poppins, that was.
Now pay attention, 007.
Didn't realize Q was from the East End in 1942.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know what that even means, the East End. What does that mean? It means nothing to me. The East End. I just know you all sound the same to me.
That's what it means.
All you British people. When you say, "Oh, that one's from London," and that one's from
Manchester,
Welsh, like, I don't fucking
Liverpool.
We don't all sound the same. If I say I'm from Birmingham, and I say I'm from Cheshire, those are two very different things, right? Exactly. Surely you can tell the difference.
Yeah, you can tell the difference between my voice and Little Platoon's voice, can't you? Can't you?
Yeah, I suppose, but I just lump it all in together eventually. And I think I can imitate, like if you set it up, like if you say a sentence, I can try and imitate that sentence, but off the top of my head.
The water in Mallorca don't taste like how it oughta. How about that one?
What did you just say?
What?
You skipped a couple syllables, I think.
I think Ben can say it better than me. Obviously not.
Actually, I can't remember exactly what it is you said. Mallorca and something?
In Mallorca don't taste like how it oughta.
The water in Mallorca don't taste like how it ought to.
How it ought to. That's how you're supposed
to.
Ought
to. God, I hate
some Americans think that Australians sound like British people.
I know. It's weird.
All right, I'm not one of those.
Same
Australians
with South
obviously
Africans.
sound cooler.
Well, I think Canadians sound like Americans.
Australians sound pretty cool.
That's horrible to say, isn't it? Vex.
Canada sucks, so like literally anything is better than Canada.
There is a slight difference. Like, Canadians say a boot as opposed to about.
Yeah, they do.
I don't say a boot. I say about.
A boot.
But if you go more west, they'll say a boot.
A boot.
Mm-hmm. But I do say
a boot.
So that's
they do. They say a lot, don't they?
Yeah.
I'm going out, eh? They say that a lot.
This is definitely true of America. Yeah, I agree.
What are you talking about? We sound normal, Platoon.
We don't drive on the wrong side of the road. You guys drive.
We're the normal ones, all right?
Beg to differ.
Beans and toast. What are you talking about?
Beans on toast is good, though.
It is. It is. It's lovely.
This is why Canada never joined the American Revolution.
That one Ginger Draven for $4.99. How likely was it that WB pushed for a race or sex swapped character for Dune, and Dennis V just gave him what? How do you pronounce that?
I don't know.
Liet Kynes.
Liet?
Oh yes,
Liet
the
Kynes?
doctor.
I don't know. Also glad that you're back.
Dr. Liet Kynes,
but-
the black lady from Dune, who showed Oscar Isaac around the facility.
Oh, yes, I remember.
Yes, the movie I still haven't seen.
How have you still not seen Dune?
Imagine.
I haven't seen Dune either.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Imagine.
I bought it. I own it.
You have it?
I'll
was
watch
on
it
sale.
before the
It was,
second
like,
one comes
cheaper.
out.
It was cheaper to buy
Okay.
it than it was to rent it. So
Put it on, lights out, surround
awesome.
sound, big screen. It's a good film.
It is. It's okay. I didn't think it was all right.
It is. It is very okay.
It's very slow though, in my opinion.
It is.
Yeah.
All the action seems to have
I'm
been
okay
saved
with
for the
it.
second half. So the second half should, if it follows the books, be more accurate to the action side of things. That's when the battles and things happen.
Yeah.
But it's got Timothy
I'm okay with
Chalamet in
the
it.
slow
Like,
burn.
you can watch Timothy Chalamet in anything, doing anything.
Ugh.
But it doesn't have Sting in it though. That's the thing. Yeah.
Platoon, you're gonna love Wonka, aren't you?
Oh no.
That will be a
Oh,
severe
no.
test of my faith in Mr. Chalamet, I think. But yes.
No.
Really, like,
Why
you'll
don't
be
we
like, this
make
movie's
it?
stupid, and then Timothy will come on. You're like, my hairless twink.
Well, it's hair, he has
10 out of
beautiful
10.
hair. Beautiful hair. What are you talking about?
Well, yeah, he has hair, but like he's hairless everywhere else, like no chest hair.
I
why-
defer
why
to
make
you.
it?
Have you seen? I'll take your
Hmm?
word for that.
Why make it? in the
Okay.
first
Why
place?
make it is a good question. I think because they are creatively bankrupt and have nothing else to do.
Crazy. Yeah, I'm not gonna watch it anyway.
Mo Sislak for $20. It's called Eating Less. You actually save money.
What is he referring to?
I mean, yes and no.
True. Starve yourself.
Yes and no.
Easy.
Like I under no, but like if you're gonna eat 3,000 calories of unhealthy food, but you only need like 1,500. If you want to eat a healthy version of that, you might be paying more, so you'll eat less and pay the same. But I think that's also the point. Like it's overconsumption. So yeah, you would think long term you'd probably save some money too. Mega Spidey Man for 5 fake money. Hello there. Do you lads have a favorite Bond villain theme and Bond girl? Connery Brosnan for me. Scaramanga for the villain.
Yeah, Christopher Lee played
and
Scaramanga.
LALD fave theme. I don't know these references. I don't know.
Live and
Bond that
Let
well.
Die is
Live and Let.
is
Oh yes, Live and Let Die. I don't know. My favorite theme is Spy Love Me, and what do you want? Von Villain. I don't know. Blofeld. Roger Moore and Connery for me. There you go. I've answered that question.
Favorite Bond, Connery. Villain, I don't have one. Theme, the one that Madonna did. I can't remember
Oh
which one
God,
it
that
was.
sucks.
really Die Another Day.
I
that
liked that
sucks.
one.
That is
She
the
doesn't
one of the
even sing.
worst.
It's
One of
just
the
a
worst.
robot doing all the music for her.
Yeah,
I liked
terrible.
it.
It's absolutely awful. That one.
I don't think I have a favorite Bond girl. I think I'm aside. I think Halle Berry was my least favorite one because she had that god awful haircut at the time.
Yeah.
But other they all look good.
I do like the one in For Eyes Only. I think she's French. Can't remember her
Yeah.
name though. She was gorgeous.
I do
They
not
got
remember the
Diggy.
names of most of the Bond girls. That's the problem. I'd agree with. I like
it Ana
Scaramanga
de
as a villain
Armas
just because
one?
he's classy and it's Christopher Lee. So obviously, yes, he's good. Theme, GoldenEye's quite good, but I'd probably go with the Man with the Golden Gun or like one of the Shirley Bassey ones. Probably would be mine. But
And Times Are Forever.
Diamonds Are Forever. Yes, good choice. I'll go with that. And favorite Bond. Only one first one I remember is Brosnan, but I would guess probably Connery or even Roger Moore, even though the films are all really cheesy, but he's kind of iconic. So
he is. I love Roger Moore. Really, really good Bond, in my opinion.
And I don't know the Bond series well enough to give an opinion on it.
That's okay.
I never really liked Bond because Brosnan growing up was like current Bond in my childhood. I thought it was like cheesy. I didn't like it.
First two,
I did like Casino Royale.
With Ugly Man.
I thought Casino Royale was pretty good.
Yeah.
Isn't Ana de Armas?
Yes, with Ugly Man. Yes.
She was in the last one.
Anna Zanis was in the last one, and she was very good. But that's because she's the first of the actual Bond girl types that have been in a Daniel Craig Bond film. I think they didn't really try to play down that she was just beautiful.
Yeah.
And she had action. She was good at the action, and she was quite funny as well. But they never slept together because it's still kind of modern Bond, so they're not allowed to do that.
Steel Manning for $4.99. Miles, did I do something wrong?
No.
I just saw Bex have a reaction.
No, because I read the thing and I was like, oh, that's pretty progressive if we're going that way, or they're just playing into more racist stereotypes.
It's more racist stereotypes. Come on. Miles Morales is half black, half Latino, but his black dad's name is Jefferson Davis. He took his mom's name.
Mm-hmm. He went to get some milk.
In the comics, I believe in the comics it's because Jefferson in the past and his family were really involved in crime, like him and his brother is Punisher, or not Punisher, Prowler. And just a lot of crime in the Davidson family, or the Davis family.
His dad's name is actually Jefferson. His dad's name is genuinely Jefferson Davis.
Yes.
The first president of the Confederacy, Jefferson Davis.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That's a choice.
In later iterations they changed I think he has changed his name to Morales as well. So
Sure.
That's the lore.
That's
happy
definitely
birthday,
an
Molly, from
artistic choice.
$1.99.
How do you name
I know.
Jesus Christ.
The standouts in most films are often supporting. Yeah, I agree. There was like a trilogy of like Psychos winning Academy Award for Best Supporting Actors too, and I remember those usually more than the best actors. Like I think it was like Javier Bardem for No Country for Old Men and Heath Ledger as Joker in Dark Knight, and then
they only got that because he died.
No, he didn't, because I remember when the trailer dropped. The actual trailer dropped. I was like, he could be nominated for an Oscar for this. This looks amazing.
Really?
And then it was. Yeah.
No, he only got nominated because he died. I'm telling you. There's no, it's a Batman film. When was the last Batman film got nominated for an Oscar, for God's sakes? Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
The last
since
Joker
that one
movie?
that had a great
but that was
that one that won
COVID,
Best
right?
Actor like 3-4 years ago.
But that's what I'm saying. That's a different. That's not even a Batman film. That's a.
What
Joker
are you
film.
saying?
I'm just saying, like, it's fantasy.
Yeah, and he won for the Joker.
Yes, I'm saying
it's a fantasy, bro. What do you think movies are? They're all fantasy.
They're all fantasies.
None of these movies are real.
But
Megan,
do you think these movies happen in real life?
Just leave it.
Hold on. Usually superhero films don't get nominated for Oscar unless it's technical, right? So it was really weird that he got nominated.
Black Panther was nominated
like
for
Heath
Best Actor.
Sorry?
Well, Black Panther was nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah, well, we know why, don't we?
And Best Costumes.
Yeah,
that's what it won.
But
I'm pretty sure.
Just saying, that's not just a technical award. That's a big one.
Well, that's when times
the best
were
movie
changing,
of the fucking year.
So
but that's when times were changing. That's my point.
To be fair, 2008, he was also up. I don't think I don't say it in the racist way, but a black comedy got an Oscar nod too, because Robert Downey Jr. got nominated for Best Supporting Actor that same year too.
I think he was only nominated for Best Supporting Actor that year because they knew that he had like no shot for a Best Actor that year in Iron Man, and they weren't going to nominate him for Iron Man, so they nominated him for something else. Because I was like, I even remember at the time, like, I think Tropic Thunder is a pretty funny movie, and I think that he played that role really well. I also didn't think it was that like
Oscar worthy
or anything that he did. Yeah, it was absolutely not Oscar worthy. That was you played Iron Man and you're the biggest movie star in the world this year. Let's nominate you for something. And they chose that.
Yeah. One thing for sure that Oscars are very biased, aren't they? When they nominate stuff.
Yeah. They absolutely are. Like I remember when everyone thought that what's his face was I'm such an asshole that I can't remember his name because he passed away. Chadwick Boseman. He was supposed to win Best Actor, but then he didn't. That was like a huge surprise. Everyone thought that he was just gonna win because he was, they had died that year. So, but he didn't. So that was actually pretty shocking.
Was that for Black Panther that he didn't win?
No, it was
he nominated
for
another movie?
It was another movie. It's called
Was he in Moonlight?
Black
was that
Bottom.
it? Or... Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think he was in Moonlight.
Rainey's Black Bottom.
I know there's one where he plays a lawyer.
That might be the movie. I have no idea about the movie. Absolutely.
I thought the one where he was a lawyer was kind of good. I liked him as a lawyer.
On a sidetrack, they totally could make Satan Dally into a movie. Now it works with the political agenda of today. So, just saying.
Dax and R 0 for $2. Great hearing your Black Widow takes. Cheers, Platoon.
I read that and I thought, did I say something about Batwoman? Oh no, the other one.
Black Widow.
It's the one. Peak. It's peak TV, baby.
You can read that one, Platoon.
Thank you. The Ursidai Pugilist for $2 Platoon. I'm loving your breakdown of today's trash. Thank you. There is plenty of trash to break down. There's enough trash to break down that it can almost bring on a breakdown itself. But resisting it still to this day.
M8566 for $10. I like how Lil Platoon furthers the stereotype that guys who are smart, articulate, witty, sophisticated, charming, knowledgeable, popular, handsome, and well endowed are also gay.
Wait, how do you know he's well endowed?
Exactly.
I mean, obviously. Part-time at least. But thank you very much. I'll take almost all of those compliments.
That does it for the super chats, and that wraps it up for everything. And I'll let you wrap it up, Platoon, because we're on your channel.
Sure thing. Yeah, that is the end of this show then. Coming up on the 3-hour mark. So I guess first thing is the plug section. So we get to ask people what exciting things they're doing with their lives and their time. So we'll go clockwise from Andrew, I think. What are you doing? What's coming up on yours?
I finished Ahsoka finally. I'm done with that show.
Lucky bastard.
I've been taking a break. I'm taking a break a bit just to refresh, and I'm making a video on Andor, and then probably Arcane, and then something after Arcane, Invincible season 2. That's coming up, so I'm probably going to review that.
What about that Temple of Doom review?
Probably going to be. Well, that's going to be the 40th anniversary next year, I think. Is it when it is?
Is it?
I'll just schedule it then. Yep. Tear that movie to shreds. Can't wait.
How about me and Vex come and defend it on your channel? I don't know if you like it, but
it's the weakest of that original trilogy, but I don't think it's as bad as Andrew says it is.
Yeah, it's not.
I don't think it's as bad as
it is an atrocity.
No,
I am right.
Not that
it's okay
bad.
to be wrong.
But this is the guy who says that Andor is better than Empire Strikes Back, and I really like Andor, and even I don't agree with that. So, it's a take.
Listen, someone's got to be the chaos on this show. All right. Someone's got to take the heat.
So
yeah, we can't be accused of being an
um,
echo chamber anymore, so that's good.
You're gay for
True.
pay in
'Cause
other
I'm here.
words,
Gay for
basically.
pay.
I also got, this is a side note, but I also ordered, I found allegedly illegally, I found de-specialized versions of the OT.
Yeah, I've got 'em.
So it's not a bunch of the crap that George added to A New Hope.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've got them.
And I watched that version. Oh my god, it's way better. Like
It is.
Yeah.
like A New Hope's already like it's okay. I have do you have like bad CGI in it and stuff like the Disney version. But I found that the de-specialized version is just it's just better overall. Like the editing and pacing is just way better than the modern, like the one on Disney Plus. I don't know what that's called.
And they don't
but
keep
it's
like
got
cramming random CGI shit onto the screen
Yeah.
in your way, which is the
Mhm.
most weird decision creatively. In A New Hope, in particular, like when they're driving into Mos Eisley, and there's a panning shot, but then this like the random flank of a giant CGI monster just crosses your screen, and you think, George, why have you done that? What's the point? Also, why do you add burping aliens? Why is the Sarlacc pit now a vagina? And why is Luke screaming when he jumps off the thing in Bespin on Bespin? None of those decisions make any sense. They do not improve anything.
The only one that I do like is the one that they changed to the Emperor to make it look like the one from Revenge of the Sith, just for
That's
continuity's
true,
sake. And also the one in Empire in the original cut kind of looks like a frog. So
But it was a woman, wasn't it? And
Yeah,
the woman in
it was a
makeup
woman?
and they voiced over.
Dang!
it was a woman.
It was a
That's
woman with a
crazy.
funny eye. They put some kind of makeup on her eye, didn't they? It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Yeah.
And then
But,
voiced over with a
those versions you're talking about, Andrew. They're
Mhm.
really good. I mean, they even
Yeah.
add to the battle when they escape from when Luke and Han are shooting at the TIE fighters. They even add to that as
Yeah.
well. If you notice, it's really
Yeah.
well done. All of it.
Yeah, and even like the saber fight between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, that felt better. I don't know.
They moved
Some of
it
the
slightly
editing-
faster. Yeah.
Yeah, it moves faster, so it doesn't look weird.
Yeah.
Because that's the biggest gripe. Because like they're just kind of like two older guys with sticks, just kind of like waiting, and like oh, and it feels really
Yeah.
awkward in.
And Prowse couldn't
the-
see out of the Vader mask, so he didn't really know where he was supposed to be or what he was supposed to
Yeah.
do. So it was very clumsy.
But,
Empire's
but
the
yeah,
Empire. They really did a good job on Empire, though. Really
Yeah.
really good
Yeah.
job on it.
the editing is just really, really good
Mm.
with A New Hope. Like
Mm.
it's just always moving. Yeah,
Yeah.
just a really good cut of it. I'm glad I'm ordering them. So
I think we missed this one from Larry for $5, and he missed our original answer. I think I won by acclamation. So you'll have
you
to-
didn't even say it.
What was I supposed to say?
Now pay attention.
Now
007.
listen here, 007. But not country.
Yeah, that's the
Now
one.
listen here.
Now listen here. The good old Southern.
Now listen
accent.
here, young chap.
Y'all.
Listen here,
now
Buckaroo.
listen here, 007. There you go. We win.
Oh, that can't be Brown. That can't.
Oh,
be
it's
good.
now pay
No.
attention
Is
007.
it Brown?
Now pay attention, 007. No, that is not. That is Cynic, but I think I might have added him when he wasn't ready to be added. So he's disappeared and become whoever that is.
It's Mr.
We'll run with that.
Brown. He's back.
We'll
brown
carry
out.
on. Well, it's the brown out. We'll carry on with the plug section. Mega Geek, what are you doing with your life? What's coming up on your channel? What can we look forward to?
I haven't put anything on my channel for the last 2 years or so, but I am working on Rebecca Gull season 2 at the moment, as you would have seen by some of the pictures we put up. So that should be finished middle of next year, because it's a long haul. It's like a 90-minute piece, and I'm working around the actors and everybody's working. So hopefully it'll be finished at the end of the year. But I'm hoping that more people will sub the channel as well. I'm trying to get up to 2K. My channel's very small. So if anyone is out there and want to watch some really good content, just go to the Rebecca Gull channel and sub. But yeah, that's what I'm up to. And I'm also working as well, corporate stuff. But, At least I've got something to aim for, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, all the links will be in the description here and on the re-upload, of course. Am I right in thinking between now and the last time we had you on, you won awards, did you not?
I did indeed. My lead actress and myself won awards at the New Jersey Web Film Festival, which was quite cool, actually. There's a really good web festival. So, yeah, I'm a bona fide award-winning director now. Then again, I have won other awards, but no BAFTAs, no Oscars yet. So you never know.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah. I just want to win an Oscar so I can slap someone. Go up there and slap someone. That'd be quite cool.
You stand up on stage and shout, "I'm the king of the world," and then you punch someone in the face.
Absolutely.
That's what you have to do. No, great stuff. And yeah, Rebecca Gold is well worth checking out and well deserving of that award. So yeah, carry on the good stuff.
Cheers. Thank you.
Vex, your turn. What's coming up with you?
Why an uh-oh?
Because you usually say something rude here.
Thank you for having me on. It's good to be back, and fuck you, Ian.
See, I told you.
But I don't know. I'm in a bit of a slump, but for sure there will be a Marvels review out. I'm dabbling with the idea of streaming this week. I don't know. I have a bunch of scripts started, but nothing finished. So, and I got a lot going on in my personal life. So, but for sure, a Marvels review is coming the week that movie is out. So,
have you not moved to America yet?
There's a whole other debacle in that situation that went down over the course of the last month, and I am officially piss broke because of it. And I've had to take on a second job. To try and So my personal life is a bit of a shit show right now. Yeah. I don't know when I'm moving anymore.
Well, the Marvels will make everything better, right?
Exactly.
The Marvels will shape up. Yeah.
There we go. Hopefully, I'm really hoping that brown representation will just, lift my spirits when I see the Marvels. But that's what you can expect on. But I'm always live streaming, so just check me out on Twitter. I always tweet out where I'm going to be.
I want to see the Poltergeist thing that you're going to do, so I'll be watching that.
On Monday. That's on Monday.
Oh, I'll be watching it.
Good stuff. Cynic, I don't know if you're with us. What is coming up for you at the moment? I'm going to give him 5 seconds.
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
4.
All right.
But can
there it is.
He hear us?
All right. I have 5 videos coming out over the next 16 days. So there's going to be a lot. One is on the Marvels, of course, and I'm doing one that's coming out next week before the end of Halloween. If anyone wants to tell me, do they want a video on Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, or Halloween Ends?
I know.
Neither
movie ever.
Tough choice.
I know those people that made that film, Blood and Honey.
Oh, you're getting one.
Don't do Blood and Honey.
The movie's terrible.
Yeah.
But then so is Halloween Ends.
Oh, I had to watch it.
They both are terrible.
I think Ends is probably worse.
Probably Halloween.
Why don't you do Five Nights at Freddy, man? That comes out next week.
FNAF.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh man, I'm so hype. The game theory lore videos on YouTube, just of all the games.
I've been talking about doing a video on Halloween Ends.
Yes.
Gotcha. I'll watch whatever you put out. To be fair, so
you love Halloween, so you might as well. Do that.
I do, but I hate that movie. So you're gonna see me like intensely shit on this movie.
Well, that's a good reason to tune in, isn't it?
This fucking movie. It is. I'm gonna tear it apart, so have fun. Yeah, but that's what I'm up to.
We shall look forward to that. Plenty of content coming up on your channel then. As for mine, I am doing Ahsoka episode by episode as opposed to in 2 big ones. So assuming that everything goes well with copyright, which is it never does, so discount everything I'm about to say, the next part will be out tomorrow, and then it'll be Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday, Wednesday until the end. And then the Marvels will come up straight after. So also an uncommon amount of stuff coming out on this channel at the moment. So fingers crossed it will stay on schedule. We will see. As for BSUP coming back, obviously, and for reasons previously stated, it's not going to necessarily be the most reliable thing in the world. We'll do it when we can, and we'll try and keep it as regular as we can, but with obviously the affordances that we will require because of things happening in personal lives and all the rest of that. We thank you for your patience and your abidance, like the dude. So thank you for that. We have one final super chat that has come in before we say go, before we say goodbye, even from. Lego my bacon. That's the one. Got there eventually for $10. Cover Five Nights at Freddy's. I think you've got your instructions.
You'll get the autistic audience in. That's a whole subscriber base that you can catch. There you go.
Gold mine.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that movie. It's gonna be so bad.
But I think that just about does it. So yeah, all the links will be in the description on the re-upload, which will go onto the new BSUP channel. I say new BSUP channel. It's been however many months it's been, but it still seems new.
It's 2 now.
2 months. Yeah, it's still technically new, right? That's fine.
New.
It's fresh.
So
still
all the
in the
links,
first trimester. There you go.
It is exactly. The demon baby is still brewing inside for another 6 months at least. Yeah, all the links will be in the description. There'll be plenty of stuff on all of our channels coming out in the near future, and we will hope to see you back here when we can. So have a good night, everyone, and thank you again to the guests for joining us.
Ta-ta.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care.